Hi, everybody. Welcome to FNS Wrestling Podcast, episode 241. It's me and my co-host and teenage son, Jack, down in the basement on a Friday night, February 28th. This will be out on March 1st. We'll publish it. We're back down drinking on some drinks. Remember we used to talk about that all the time, what we were drinking?
We always have booster juice.
So you've got some mango nectar on the go, and I've got some water on the go. It's pretty exciting stuff. We are going to talk about another week of wrestling. We'll get to AEW Dynamite. We'll get to NXT. We'll get to a bit of Raw. We will preview and make predictions for Elimination Chamber that's happening tomorrow, right? It's a Saturday one, which I much prefer.
Here, it's in Toronto.
Correct, in Toronto, about less than an hour from our house, but we won't be there because tickets were crazy. Timestamps for everything. You can jump to whatever you want. If you don't want to listen to us talk about non-wrestling stuff for a couple minutes, feel free. I mean, our lives are pretty exciting. I assume everyone would want to hear us talk about our lives, right? Yes,
Yeah.
nodding comes through well on audio.
Yeah.
But I don't know. You played some badminton this week. You had tryouts for the team.
Yeah,
Or tryouts the right term?
technically, but like I don't know. It's weird how it goes.
You can because you can take up to like 20-something people, or even 20
yeah,
people.
but people are just going there to play too. So it's
Yeah.
like
Oh, there's like coming for fun?
yeah. So it's kind of hard to weed out,
Right.
or it's kind of crowded unnecessarily.
Oh, is it?
We'll say. Well, not like it's not like a lot. It's just like some people are there and like they're not gonna play the tournament. So it's
Oh,
like,
interesting.
what's the point?
Yeah, what? I guess it's kind of like half recreational, half...
You kind of run to
team?
like a club. So yeah,
That's cool. That's good. It gives more people opportunity to play, which is good.
Yeah, I care about that a lot.
My pickleball paddles came in that your mom got me for my birthday.
Yeah.
Played with one last night, went undefeated again, as most weeks in pickleball up in this area. Could not hit the paddle well in the first game I played because it was me and a very strong player, and we were losing 5-1. And then I just figured the paddle started to feel good, and then I went on to play well the rest of the night. My buddy Everett was there. So he's... I don't mean to out him on here, but no one knows who he is. So he's a couple years older than me, and we're a pretty good team. So I'm like, dude, when we start,
Let's go pro.
let's go play. Let's play tournaments. We're thinking about getting in a tournament in April, but we need like one for our age group, right? Because against people our own age, I think we do amazing. I don't know, we running around against 25-year-olds, but
Yeah.
bring me the over 45 set. Let's go. I feel pretty confident. But so yeah, that was fun. The weather's back to being
Horrible.
We got a little bit of melting. The snowbanks are down from like...
Back to like the crappy icy snow kind
Yes,
of deal.
and then we were supposed to...
And a crap load of slush.
Yes, that's the part. I like winter where we live, and I have no problem with snow. It's when it starts to melt, and it's that slushy, greasy
that's why
mess.
spring's the worst.
It is. But we were supposed to get a ton of snow this afternoon again, did not. It was snowing heavily for a little bit, but I don't think it lasted very long. Because
Not as long as before.
I don't feel like I have to shovel, so that's nice, because... I don't mind shoveling, to be honest. I just don't need to be shoveling like 4 times a day, which has happened. Like when you look at the basketball hoop in front of our house, the pile of snow from us shoveling is like 2/3 of the way up the basketball hoop, right? Which is a lot, the most I can remember in a long time.
It is.
What do we got for video people on the desk here? You can see Jack puts out different figures every week. So
Fresh arrivals from Monday, though.
Fresh arrivals from Monday. So they were what? Ordered. Did we pre-order them
for Christmas? Yeah, but I don't think Mom got the first pre-order because the first pre-orders went out earlier.
Yeah.
So I think it was pre-order or back ordered or whatever.
And she made a mistake that benefited you.
Got Osprey, and then I got 2 Jay Whites. So we got 1 and
deboxed and 1 boxed.
1.
Ooh, that's precarious. Yeah. So
yeah,
Osprey here, Jay White. Is there someone on the other side over there?
That's just my
Takeshita because
timely.
And then who you got here?
Ricardo Saints.
Oh, Ricky Saints. All very timely. There he is. Yeah. So, yeah, you got some fresh figures in, which is nice, and a duplicate of 1. So you said Mom ordered it wrong. They didn't just send you 2?
Yeah, which has happened before, because I swear to God, when I remember getting like Lucha Bros, something else in the Walter over there, and it might have just been Lucha Bros and Walter, and then I got a second Walter, which I'm pretty sure we checked and we didn't order, and the same thing happened with the Swerve that I have.
So you have this odd collection of ones still in boxes, we were just saying, and poor old Kama Mustafa is over there on the floor. Disrespectful.
The Kenny Omega Street Fighter I bought 2 intentionally, and the Adam Cole I just didn't open because I like the Elites better, but we got a
smattering of boxed ones.
Yeah.
That for random reasons.
Mock.
Anything else you want to discuss? I don't think it's going to be a crazy lengthy episode, but I always say that and curse us, and it ends up being. So Thanks to any new listeners who are checking us out. It looks like there's a few every now and then. If you're a returning listener, welcome back. You know the drill, so we're going to start it now. We're going to talk about some of the week's wrestling news and rumors. Ratings this week. NXT, 799,000 viewers, up 16%. 0.19 in the key demographic, up 11.8%. Back to being head-to-head with the NBA after, I think. Oh, yeah, it was All-Star Week, so they were not having that competition before. Dynamite, 598,000 viewers, up 6.2%, and a 0.18 in the key demo, up 5.9 after I think it was exactly the same for 3 weeks at least. So
There's at least a couple I remember.
Up almost 6%. And again, I keep saying it doesn't include the streaming numbers on Max. And I heard rumblings that if you combine those two, it beats NXT, but I haven't
So
seen
we're better.
I haven't seen evidence, but honestly didn't really go to look it up
Tribalism,
either.
baby, we win.
That's right. No, I like NXT, man. I don't care. I
will never respect it ever
I'll have a
again.
soft spot for NXT always.
They ruined that soft spot.
I thought a moderate week for news. I don't have anything too great, so you start us off.
And something that'll be poignant later on.
Oh.
John Cena was reportedly planning to win the Chamber, but apparently, so obviously The Raw came in and disrupted plans. I think we talked about it last week already,
Yes.
right?
A terrible promo on Raw.
So stupid.
So long.
SmackDown.
SmackDown, where he flipped back, and we think we mentioned it briefly, right? Where he flipped heel and face like 4 times.
Well, Andy's ruining the storylines going on, and his feud with Cody makes no sense. Now he wants to work with Cody.
And how we were also talking like a couple hours ago about how it makes no sense, because if you're trying to bring back the whole Vince wants Austin to be his corporate person, what year was that? You can probably tell me.
98, probably.
Right? So the thing there was, Austin was this rebel. He wore jean shorts and T-shirts, and he
drank beer on television.
TV and
flipped
the finger nonstop, and was like
everybody.
Anti-corporate. So they wanted him to fall in line and wear a suit and be a shill. All the things that Cody already is.
Honestly, as much as I hate him, Rock pitching that to CM Punk would make more sense.
And I've heard that that's where it might be going. Corporate Punk. Corporate man Punk. Yeah, I know.
I heard speculation that McIntyre would take up that mantle.
He's already heel, so that's not. I guess it's a lateral move.
That's kind of why.
But yeah, it just doesn't make sense. Cody's, what's in it for Cody? He's already the undisputed champion. He's the face of the company. He's the mainstream media guy.
Mm-hmm.
Unless Rock's I can get you movies.
Yeah, I guess.
There's all the things that would make him a corporate champion. He already is.
Yeah.
It's just indulgent by Rock, I think, right?
Absolutely. And so apparently, Chamber plans are kind of might be shifting because of him, obviously. And so apparently the new rumored pick is Drew McIntyre.
Come on. I already have my pick locked in. We'll talk about it last segment of the day.
And I will always vouch for him getting his meaning.
Oh, I love him. I actually miss him on Raw. It's one of the things Raw, you were talking about it, you think I'm going to sort of tail off watching Raw. It's definitely not as interesting as it was. And Drew McIntyre was a guaranteed every week. Heel Drew tells the truth every week.
And I think a bad thing about their television too is they put all their eggs in the Raw basket. SmackDown kind of sucks.
They did, but then
But even if it's not as good, they're still putting all their effort on Raw.
They are, but Drew is one of those eggs. Why did you take that egg out of that basket and put it in another basket?
I guess to help with SmackDown, but then they don't actually try on SmackDown.
It doesn't seem like everything I see or listen to and hear about SmackDown is that it's a rambling, meandering 3 hours that doesn't matter.
It's become Raw.
Right, they've sort of
I think
flipped.
back when Bloodline was at its peak, SmackDown
Right.
was but now it's Raw is the shiny new Netflix toy.
It is, and it's not that interesting right now. There's 2 good matches this week, but the rest was kind of bland.
McIntyre is the plan. I hope that's true, because honestly, as much as I like the Cena final run,
believe it when I see
prefer it to be McIntyre, because
he's awesome.
He kind of got his moment last year, but then I think the whole Punk thing was stupid. And Punk is the heel in this.
Great feud and a great match.
The Punk is the greatest heel on Raw because he's a heel. He's not a babyface. So
neither's Cody.
Yeah, but I want McIntyre to still actually get his moment legitimately, and I would love nothing more for him to claymore Cody in the face and.
I would too.
Take that belt.
That would be great.
Yeah,
absolutely.
One can hope. I'd rather him get his moment than Jey Uso.
Speaking of Mania stuff and rumors, and we do call this news and rumors, so I'm taking a rumor and I'm going to try and speak it into existence. Somewhere I saw talk of Gunther destroying Jey Uso at Mania, similar to Redacted did to Cena at SummerSlam years ago.
2014.
So yes, please. Like, I would love that.
Not happening. McIntyre winning Chamber's more likely than that.
And I think now Uso's even saying, like, this is do or die for him, blah, blah, blah.
I saw he's looking to
more.
redeem himself after his match at Mania last year. Hint to the worst of.
Oh my God, I keep forgetting. March break's coming. Let's do that. Let's commit. Oh, sorry, you're done already. It's me committing.
But I don't think that's going to happen. I would love nothing more.
But you could, like, solidify Gunther as a guy, like a made guy with this, I feel
I think, one, he is a made guy. 2, I
like,
think it would piss off too many people. As much as I hate to say it, like, I don't think they're ballsy enough to do that.
If Redacted were still in charge, because he loves to spite the fans, right?
Oh, I know. Well, if he were still in charge, Jey Uso wouldn't have gotten this far.
True.
I think.
Because he would have already been like,
Zack Ryder.
He hated when people got over without him designing that.
Rusev.
Right.
I mean, yeah, because the whole Yeet thing stemmed from that one press conference with Cody after Fastlane. That's when it started becoming a thing for him. So now I feel like, yeah, it was kind of a spontaneous thing. It was kind of in vein of Zack Ryder. So I think Vince Redacted.
Triple H, I know you're listening.
Save us.
Put Gunther over strong on that one. I would love.
It's not gonna happen.
Your turn.
It will never happen.
Probably not.
You like podcasts. Some people here like podcasts.
Oh, I think you're taking one of mine. I do like podcasts. Would you be about to talk about one that I would never listen to?
Are you particularly interested in wrestling podcasts, perchance?
Dreadful. Nobody listening to our show is interested in wrestling podcasts. Let's be real.
Okay, so then I shouldn't really report on them. WWE launching a new podcast.
Yeah, they are. I got this too.
With one of our favorite people. Honestly, I think I'm going to be serious for a second. I think it's a good idea for a podcast because I think we should chronicle the history of women's wrestling and how it started. So with that being said, I will be listening to Stephanie McMahon's podcast.
Stephanie McMahon is launching an official WWE
I can only
podcast.
assume it's how the women's revolution came to be.
So I don't think so because what I got was...
But that's what she did. She made that.
So if there's one thing I don't want in a sports or wrestling pseudo-sport podcast, what interests me least about these things is when they talk to the athletes or the wrestlers. I don't want to listen to them. I don't think any of them are particularly interesting.
I like it. I like watching Van Vliet sometimes. I do think his are interesting.
Sometimes. So,
and like I remember watching Ospreys was cool. I remember watching, I think Big Cass had a cool one. It depends on the person for me. Some of them I find interesting. I thought Penta's was kind of because like he's not super English, so it's all kind of generic inspirational stuff. But I do like some of Van Vliet's. I'll say that.
So this says it's going to be Stephanie speaking with some of the biggest stars and legends in WWE history: Roman Reigns, Steve Austin, and Charlotte Flair.
I don't like.
Sounds dreadful to me.
Sounds like it's nothing new. It adds nothing.
No, it's not going to cover any new ground, I don't think.
Another one I like from Van Vliet is DDP, because DDP seems like a saint.
He does. He saved a bunch of people.
I watched the video of him helping out Luger. Right? Yeah, that was really cool.
And I saw Luger finally, I didn't put it in news, but I guess it fits here. He's finally saying, like, Elizabeth's death is partly his fault, I think, to paraphrase maybe, and that he's admitting at the time the person he was and the state he was in when she died, all he could think about was how that affected his career. So pretty monstrous stuff. But again, if people can change and reflect, you know what I mean? So I hope he has.
Yeah, I like seeing stuff about DDP because it's just
he seems like a pretty inspirational guy.
It's refreshing,
right? Yeah, for sure.
I mean, everyone knows about Jake the Snake, obviously, right?
And I think it's basically
Scott
what he's
Hall,
doing
I think,
here. Yes,
he did a lot for, so I think it's really cool.
Yep. Meltzer is saying that Malachi Black, Aleister Black, I don't know what they'll go with.
So you stole one from me, that's fair.
We're even.
I think they'd revert back to Aleister because he was that.
I do too. His return is imminent, so whatever that means.
Hooray!
And apparently, even though Phoenix is not confirmed to even be released from his contract, they are already making plans.
I also had that
for him, right? So,
I mean, I assume that's maybe they can help out the tag division.
Do they put Phoenix with Penta right away?
I feel like they can't resist it, dude. It's combining two of the things they love: same ethnicity tag teams, brother tag team.
True. And both masks. It's crazy.
And both luchadors.
Luchadors.
Like, if Rey Mysterio had a brother, game over. If Rey Mysterio had a brother, he would never have been a singles champion.
So I don't know. I feel like you might be right, but I don't think that's the best route to go. But
I'm okay with it. I think
I worry about Phoenix as a singles guy.
that's part of why I'm okay with it. Also, because then you could have them do an epic tag run, and you split them Pentagon Dark.
I mean, they have handled Dragon Lee masterfully.
Yeah,
poor guy.
Exactly. So
poor Dragon Lee.
But like in a perfect world, you have them as tag champs for like a year or so, or like have them as a prominent tag team for a year or so. Do a split Pentagon Dark Mania match next year.
Oh, Pentagon Dark,
right?
Proper Pentagon Dark.
Probably not, but you know.
Yeah. So that seems to be happening.
Not really interesting, but something I wanted to talk about was Sean Ross Sapp reporting AEW don't care about the Tony fumbled chance at NXT, and I'm saying why would they care?
Why would they?
And like I think the Tony fumbled chants are so stupid because everyone's talking about how they fumbled Starks, whatever. Hey, I love Ricky. I think he's really good, but if Tony let him go, he doesn't care. He didn't fumble him. He
Correct.
didn't like. It's not like, or it's not that Tony fumbled, but they're saying like Tony must be kicking himself right now. If he let him go, he doesn't care, and that's fine.
But I mean, I guess the point is WWE has never fumbled anyone, so
right, yeah. Where was like they fumbled Rusev and he left, and Malachi. I mean, he's coming back to be fair, but they still fumbled him, right?
And recency bias for me right now, probably Ricochet's way cooler.
Or
Shelty's way cooler.
Moxley is the king example because I mean,
Moxley
again,
is cooler. Not right now.
He's still doing better now. He's been champion for longer than he was in WWE. Like I watched a video talking about, I think it was Wrestling with Regret. It was looking at Ambrose's run, and like they just seemed hell bent on him not being popular, even though he was always more popular than Roman.
They had him with potted plants.
Yeah.
And smelling things.
And ketchuping mustard people. Right. Like, so yeah, like the fun people.
It's like they knew he wanted to leave, and it's like, let's devalue him as much as we can.
Yeah. And so like the amount of people WWF fumble, and it's like, I think if Tony really wanted to make Starks bigger, I think he should have, don't get me wrong. Mm-hmm. But if he really wanted to, he would have.
They'll all fumble things and make mistakes. Who cares?
But it's just crapping on AEW is still the fun thing to do.
Yeah.
So.
There's a match coming up, and the only reason I'm including it in my news is because I literally laughed when I saw what it was. TNA tag match. Have you heard? You might have actually mentioned it before. Who is going to...
System?
No. Hardys versus another relative.
Oh yeah, the clones. Yeah.
Yeah. I think you said it last week, and I just came.
No, I was telling you the clones aligned with the system.
Right. Oh, okay. So you are saying the system. I laughed because that's funny, especially like I'll talk about the Hardys match this week.
The clones look so old.
Yeah, and it's just not. Who wants to see that match? But anyways,
Carlito.
I guess
do a clones reunion with Carlito now that they have the partnership.
That's right.
See, I love that. Like, we have this big partnership, and it's like they're losing Josh Alexander, and they're losing Speedball, and they're losing Jordan Grace. Hey, here's the clones.
This is what this agreement's going to be. They're going to keep bringing people in. I think Moose is next, based off this week.
Moose is gone. Moose is so gone.
The reaction he got on NXT this week.
Although
that was either a super hot crowd or it was sweetened. I couldn't tell because the volume certainly didn't match the crowd that was visible, but it looked like a decent sized venue, and I don't know what's going on.
Moose is probably gonna lose his belt to Oba too. I saw clips from TNA. Oba looked good on there.
Yeah.
But yeah, Moose is done.
Yeah.
I don't know who else they would even
Hendry's done.
Hendry they will take. Yeah, that's right.
Anybody that gets any traction they'll bring.
I could see them taking ABC to NXT when Bay is back.
Yeah, hopefully Bay when. I like to use when because I don't think that's a guarantee. But hopefully.
But yeah, it's gonna be like because people talk about AEW kind of killing New Japan, which is not entirely wrong. But that's WWE is going to do that
for sure.
Like it's already happening. Although. To go related, Josh Alexander may be gone, but he's
AEW
apparently heading to AEW.
Yeah,
which I'm more than okay with.
The one report I saw phrased it as basically he is going for this contract, and I don't begrudge him this where the money is, right? Because he's not young anymore, and he's got a family, so he's kind of like, who's gonna throw me the most money? That's where I'm going.
I guess WWE values him less. That sucks because I guess we'll never get the North back.
I know. But anyways.
I also would rather see him in AEW.
They fumbled Paige. No, just kidding. I don't think it's quite a fumble, but they're at risk.
I mean, they did Karate Man him, so.
They did.
But then And then I guess we're also getting Speedball. I'm glad Speedball's not going to WWE.
I'm excited for Speedball.
Speedball would be... I feel like he'd be kind of like Matt Riddle, because Matt Riddle was still really cool, but like he kind of got diluted and then also didn't ever do that much.
I'm nervous Bailey ends up on Ring of Honor, though, for some reason.
Yeah, but I mean, if he gets a spot, he gets a spot.
Yep, I'm happy for him. I only have one more story. I think it's you.
My last one is the opposite of someone coming to AEW, in that they are
So's
gone.
mine. He's stealing my...
Layla Hirsch.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, okay. You can go look it up. I have a record of kind of liking Layla Hirsch.
I thought she was kind of cool.
Okay, so 2 questions.
She could have been in...
Why would she not re-sign if they want her?
I guess they don't.
Where is she going to go?
TNA.
Because she's not... I can't see WWE having interest. No offense to her.
TNA.
You think so?
It's major enough, and also small enough.
I kind of like...
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I kind of liked her body type because she's very short, but she has like a legit kind of background.
She would have been really cool as a female Blackpool person before Shafir came in.
And I thought she was improving.
I thought she was pretty good in there.
But then I think unlucky with injuries and stuff, right?
That, and I don't know how charismatic she is.
True. She's kind of got
I
that
actually
like
don't remember.
tiny little shooter, which is sometimes hard to pull off.
She's like really short, Shayna Baszler or something.
Very short, yes.
But yeah, so that's not a big departure, but an interesting one, I guess.
That's what I had too. All right. That's going to wrap up our news and rumors segment. We'll get into our most in-depth review every week, and that is taking a look at Wednesday night's episode of AEW Dynamite. If I remember correctly, we quite liked last week's Dynamite. I think we were
I was
B
gonna say that too. I'm pretty sure we
B pluses from both of us, I think. So let's see how this one compares, I guess.
Have it open? Yeah, I do actually. So I'll double check. So I don't.
I'm almost positive we were B plus.
B plus. Yeah, I was.
I don't think I'm as high on this one, but sometimes after we recap it, I'm like, you know what? I liked a lot, or I didn't.
I think it was good at least.
I do too. I don't think it was bad.
We first get Adam Copeland coming in with an ambulance. He's gonna put the Death Riders in there because that's the thing he's been doing.
I feel like this was the first of many times we got him, which is a minus.
I think he only came up one other time. It was just more lengthy.
It's just I don't want it, so it feels like more. Possibly.
I agree.
Yeah, he just said he means the commentary told us he means business.
I want him to go away.
I agree.
Then we get MJF getting his tattoo removed.
It's kind of cool. He's cutting a promo while getting a laser removal of a tattoo.
Yeah, he said he's here to get the biggest mistake of his life removed, and he's washed on his hypocrites of chanting cowboy shit for a faker and a pretender when I'm right here. Now he's gonna bet on himself. And the 3 letters he believes in are MJF and not AEW.
Do you think the tattoo was ever real? I don't.
I don't, but I could be.
I don't think he's the type of guy at that age to tattoo himself with the company because there's a decent chance in like 4 years or whatever, like he's gone.
Yeah, but
for bigger money.
Clearly you can just get it removed, and
you can
look like he was getting it removed. So maybe, or
but
maybe it was just
that
fake.
Being said,
I was saying to you also, it reminded me of the time Moxley got vaccinated in his ass on Raw.
I forgot about that.
So not that this was bad, it's just the visual reminded me of that.
So we both really like this story, and I like this segment because I kind of get MJF's motivation, right? Hangman has done terrible, terrible things, and the fans still love him and hate MJF. And this, whatever MJF tries to say, it's striking a nerve with him, right? He can act like he doesn't care. He obviously does. Mm-hmm. And he's overreacting like a spoiled child, as he should, because he is one. So like this all is consistent with what we know of MJF. And like the heel logic is there, right? Why are you cheering for that guy? He's burning people's family homes down. He's drinking people's blood and trying to kill them in the ring. And you love him. And it kind of chaps his ass a bit, and you get it. I like this. I
like it. Everything he says makes sense. It was pretty simple. I don't think it was like a super elaboration on last week. But it was
good sometimes.
Yeah, it was quick. And then Hangman's arriving to the arena in a JBL car kind of thing.
Yeah, I think it's an electric vehicle with the big steer horns on the front. So that kind of made me laugh.
Because he's just in street gear wrestling Aaron Solo next. Solo hit like a Trouble in Paradise type kick that actually looked
really good. I thought. That's all he got, but it did
pretty
look
much.
Good.
Clothesline him from Hangman, buckshot, gets the win. He sits in a chair in the ring and grabs a mic. He says there are 3 things he hates. I think it was running out of biscuits, English ivy, I think it was.
Is that what he said?
I think
What
something
is
like
that?
that. Maybe I saw it. It's subtitled in an Instagram post, so I can try to. I'll find out as I'm talking about. And he said when a bitch with spray tan, spits in his face. So I mean that.
He did definitely get his face spit in.
Yeah, he did. And yeah, it was hanging on his ear. Right? That's what it was. Oh, well, here it is.
It's disgusting.
What did he say? It was. Oh my god, I don't even know.
But
Never mind. Can't find it. Doesn't matter.
That's okay.
He says he'll sit in the ring until someone finds him MJF and drags him out here for the ass beating of a lifetime. Coincidentally, he does come out in a nice purple suit, like it was maybe lavenderish.
Looked sharp. I didn't know it was purple till you told me, but I believe.
And he's holding a bloody towel. He asks if Hangman is nuts for wanting to fight him right now, and Hangman's a heartless killer, so of course he's not going to fight him right now. He doesn't know if he has a prayer against Hangman at Revolution. He says he better leave and train his ass off for this match, but then he says he forgot why he came out and says Hangman should check on his friend. And he says he guesses now is when we find out who's real. Cut to Christopher Daniels blading.
Yeah, I think he had already bladed. He was punching himself to like open it up, I think.
Yeah.
Because you get it open and then you sort of whack on it to get the blood flowing, I think. So yes, they did catch that.
And people, of course, hopped right on that.
Yeah, and of course it sucks and it's a screw up by them, but I don't know, whatever.
I don't really care.
Like we know that's what's happening, so you caught that. It's been caught many times before.
Yeah.
So I'm
one of those squash match angle things.
Because that's what I'm saying. It was basically a 40-second match ahead of a promo in ring. So,
but it's a good angle, so
yeah, and the spitting in the face is over the line, and it's pissed Hangman off, so that makes sense from his perspective. So like, both people in this feud, believe they're right and justified, and are performing the heck out of it, and it's really simple. But you don't need much to create a hot feud when you do it well. You have really good performers. And it feels like you're giving them just an outline and letting them go with it.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, they screwed up the Daniels thing, but again, it's not really bothering me. And it creates a target for the evil MJF, right? And
I think it's a lot better from a storyline perspective than it's really worth like analyzing the.
And again, it gives Hangman something else to feel bad about because again, Daniels has been sacrificed because of Hangman, right? So we know he already feels some guilt about retiring Daniels, and now that you have to add on to this that he gets taken out and bloodied because of his affiliation with Hangman. So it adds to that as well.
Exactly. Yeah. It's one of the squash match angle things, like I said, but it's always fine when it gets to an angle. It makes sense. I did think it was weird Hangman wrestling street gear, but it doesn't really matter. The spray tan line was amusing. And I find it interesting he's still kind of the hot-headed heel Hangman, even though he's baby-facing. So I'm curious to see if that'll ever mellow out again to, like, Anxious Monday Cowboy, or if it's going to be this new kind of hybrid. I don't think it really matters. It's just more of a curiosity since he's clearly a babyface again. As long as he gets rid of the mustache and brings back the old theme, we're fine. I'll manifest that eventually. MJF is strong again. I like you were pointing out, I like this as a play to get under Hangman's skin. The relationship and guilt with Daniels has created a soft spot for him.
Right.
And it's kind of a lightning rod for all the regrets, like you said, and that he has from his run as an insane heel. And it kind of allows him to tap into that over-the-top anger again. It was great storytelling as well, so I'll forgive the slight error of catching the blading, but that's fine. The Tribalists already blew it out of proportion, so what are you going to do?
And something else that made me happy was sometimes when people sit in the ring and say, like, I'm going to stay here until so-and-so shows up, that person doesn't show up and the person ends up leaving the ring. Like, I know it's I can't.
That's what I was thinking when he was there too. And
like,
I was
please
like,
don't let him leave before MJF shows up.
It always looks kind of goofy, you know.
And I think obviously the point is that was what MJF was out there to do. So he just disposed of Solo immediately so that he could do what he wanted to do, which was call out MJF.
Yeah, I like that.
So yeah, that was good.
I'm just looking at this right now. Apparently for the next MLP show, we get Tom Latimer versus Baron Corbin for the NWA title.
I knew they were getting Latimer.
I knew they were getting Corbin
who
too.
He was facing
Bishop Dyer.
Right. That one's the one we're going to try and go to, right? Are tickets on sale yet?
No, that's the one that's in Windsor. I think the one we're trying to go to is the paper or like the pay-per-view, that they have later. This is just like I think it's just a TV thing. I don't know. Anyways, yeah, this is like the precursor to the one we're trying to go to, I think. Anywho, then we see Fletcher and Callis up in a lounge in the crowd. More on that later. Jericho interview. Renee asks him about how the match tonight between Brian Keith and Ospreay came about. Callis comes in, says he likes to do things in house, but he needs someone used to dealing with garbage like a bounty hunter. And Jericho says Keith has what it takes to be a champion and beat Ospreay, and apparently that's all Callis needs to hear.
Yeah.
think Callis is kind of the dumbest idiot on the planet for thinking Brian Keith has a snowball's chance in hell of beating Ospreay.
That's
But
pretty much what pretty much what I was saying too. Except the only thing is like because he's a bounty hunter, like this is what.
and because Jericho said so. Also,
Yeah.
can we flash back to the stupid angle where Jericho, they were teasing Jericho joining the Callis family, and then Callis had the painting made, and
right.
then
The paintings. I missed the paintings.
and then I do miss
they
the
were
paintings.
good stuff.
But then it was like he had a painting of them maiming Jericho because he predicted that Jericho would say no, even though Jericho said yes. And
right.
Isn't that what led to Jericho versus Ospreay? Even though I didn't want that.
I believe you're probably right. I forgot the whole painting gimmick. That was fun.
The painting gimmick was fun. I just remember hating that storyline every week.
I mean, the good news was Callis interrupted Jericho, so that was fine.
It's true.
But yeah, Callis looks a little silly thinking for a minute that Brian Keith is going to deal with.
I mean, I think it'd be more logical if he thought Brian Cage would win because Cage is,
yes.
I know he doesn't win, but they call him a machine.
Yes.
Because he's Cage. Or that's why they call him Cage.
Cage is a machine.
They call him Cage because he's a machine. I messed it up.
It's one of our favorite gimmicks.
That's my favorite line I think I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Then we get the bounty match, which is Will Ospreay versus Brian Keith. The rules, it's a singles match.
Yeah, that's right.
Ospreay caught Keith with a boot, hit a body slam and his standing sky twister for 2 because regular person things.
Mm-hmm.
Slingshot punch at the outside from Ospreay. Back in the ring, a nice exploder into the corner from Keith. Keith caught Ospreay with a roundhouse. Ospreay with a jumping integrate. Keith blocks Larry, hits a double chop. Ospreay hits a stun dog millionaire and an Oz cutter for 2. Keith would later on block a hidden blade and counter with like a really sick looking knee and then a tiger bomb for 2.
Dude,
really
look good.
Stuff, yeah.
Yeah, man.
Ospreay countered Keith, a Styles Clash and a hit blade get him the win. Then Fletcher and Callis are taunting him from up in their crowd lounge that I mentioned earlier. And then we get a brief crowd brawl between Ospreay and Fletcher and they get pulled apart. Nothing much there.
I did like the visual of the Callis family. Or I guess it was just Callis and Fletcher, right? Way up top. You could see it in the odd background. It looked good.
Because they kept it spotlighted, right?
Way up there, yeah. So Keith gets in a lot of offense here. I thought he looked good, but loses, obviously. So I guess, in a way, Callis looks less stupid because Keith did do some damage here. He hit some pretty heavy-looking stuff.
That's true. He actually looked good. And like you said, in one match, Ospreay makes him look 1,000 times better than he's been associated with Jericho for almost a year. Because I think it was after Dynasty. I think it was at Dynasty last year he turned, which is almost a year ago.
And Ospreay did more for Keith here.
Yeah.
Right?
I think I've actually hated Brian Keith ever since he joined up with Jericho, and this is like actually good.
Because we found him pretty interesting when he first showed up.
I always thought he was cool, and then once he started doing the Bad Apple thing, I hated him.
He's got a different look. He can go in the ring, as he demonstrated here. So I thought this was a really good TV match. Of course, we knew the outcome, but I mean, I got to stop saying that
I don't really
because
care.
I pretty much know the outcome of like 90% of TV matches in any company. So it's not really a negative. That's just the way it is, right? And the crowd really reacted well to the mini interaction between Fletcher and Ospreay after the match. So that's a good sign, right? Because obviously that match is going to be killer again. So yeah, let's get to that.
I'm excited for that. Yeah, it was a great little TV match. The result was never in doubt, but it was entertaining. Like Keith looked really good.
He did.
He actually put up a fight against Ospreay. And I thought it was a solid match for Ospreay before what should be an epic showdown with Fletcher.
Mm-hmm.
Then we get a Momo Watanabe highlight reel. It was just a bunch of highlights and talking heads and some narration from Excalibur. Then I think a brief promo bit where she talked about being disappointed. I think she lost a strong title match to Monet in New Japan last summer. She's going to stop the Monet train. Monet cut to her promo backstage. She said she's going to make things quick. She has things to do, and Momo made a mistake challenging her. She sees Billy Starks walk by, pretends to not know who she is, insults her. Watanabe comes up behind Monet and swings her bat at her because she's like Japanese female Sting, I guess.
Yes.
I don't know.
She's a heavy hitter, we're told.
And she holds up the T-Biz title because Monet dropped it when she was running off scared. And I thought it was weird because didn't Monet say Momo was going to have to meet her this week, and then that didn't happen, really? This was basically what that was?
I guess, yeah. And just before this, too, remember they did a recap of Mariah May beating the hell out of Toni Storm and hitting a pretty sick-looking pile driver on the ramp that we enjoyed. So yeah, Momo, I don't really know anything about her. She's being sold to us as a, quote, heavy hitter. So I hope she's awesome, because I would love
Yeah, a lot of the Japanese ones tend to be cool, so.
And the Monet thing, I laughed because Billy Stark's member has a cup of coffee, and then when Monet knocks it onto her, it's clearly just water.
Actually, that should be justification for a blood feud, because remember once on the same show when they had that 6-way Hell in a Cell match, Kane and Jericho had a last man standing match. It was Armageddon 2000, and that came from because he spilled coffee on
yes.
Kane.
Yes.
So
And Monet was very NXT-esque, where she's just mean girling backstage, and I imagine she's gonna face Starks before Momo. Is there time?
I could see that.
There is time.
There's
There's
like,
a Dynamite
I think we have
before.
a week, yeah. So maybe next week.
Feels like that's where
it was a solid introduction for people who haven't seen Watanabe like myself. But unless they really juice the feud, which I don't think they will or have the time for,
they don't.
I'm just waiting for the matches as is typically the case with Monet. Her matches deliver, but
and Monet retains, and hopefully Watanabe's good.
Yeah.
I assume.
Yeah, and the card looks pretty good because I guess that sounds good.
It does.
We have a lot of rematches, but they sound good. Like
Ricochet Swerve,
yes, Fletcher, Ospreay,
yes.
Omega Takeshita, something else. Oh, Hangman MJF isn't a rematch, but that sounds awesome. Honestly, the match
that's stacked.
The match I'm looking forward to least is probably the main event.
Agree, 100%, like without a doubt.
Which is not good, but as long as I'm looking forward to most of the show, I'll take it as a win.
Yep.
We get highlights of the Outrunners at some basketball thing. It really doesn't
with a college basketball team, and they beat up a garbage can, and everyone celebrates.
Yeah, I don't know.
Sports. You love sports, man, and you're not even on top of this?
I don't know, dude.
You're the sports fan of this duo.
Yeah, as we know.
Yeah.
Outrunners versus Murder Machines is next. I really do enjoy the retro effect on the camera for the Outrunners. I think it was kind of cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
And it's not like over the top for Tony Storm where we're making everything black and white, or it's only black and white when we cut to her. It's just like, it's just for their entrance. It's like when you go black and white for NWO, but it's not like, I feel like with Tony Storm, they always go too much.
And guess what? The Outrunners are not the face
That's
of the division.
That's what I was saying to you. Is so one, they're not the face of the division. I know the Bucks consider that, and that might have been funny for a bit, but like Storm reigned for a while, right? So there's a difference. But they're not the long running champs of the division. Two, they're not pretending like they're gonna fight the Mega Powers or wrestle Demolition.
Correct.
And try to end their title run or something.
They look the part, but they're not out there like talking like they're delusional.
To me, they're more like, it's like R-Truth is an Intercontinental Champion or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like and even he goes a little too much for me. But Outrunners, it's like it's just kind of a goofy shtick that's kind of fun, and I do get entertained by it. But they're not overstepping their bounds, and they're not going too far with it. I don't think. Like I like the retro workout segments are kind of funny. It's like a cool imitation of the stuff back in the day, and like it's just they're not too much. And Tony Storm is
just
too much.
Like if Tony Storm was in this same dosage as they are, we probably wouldn't care very much.
I don't think I'd like it.
I don't think so either.
I don't think I'd hate it.
No, I agree.
I would be apathetic towards it.
Yeah.
The title shot seems to be up for grabs as commentary talk about it. So like okay.
Oh, did they? I missed that.
It seems weird to me, but Cage does the thing where he like curls Truth Magnum and just
that's pretty crazy because he's not a small guy.
Yeah. Turbo Floyd hot tag, Murder Machine strike combo on Floyd for 2. Archer chokeslams Floyd for 2. Archer, he has Floyd up for the blackout. Hurts and the Kids music hits, and Floyd rolls him up for the win. This was fine. Honestly, I wasn't a huge fan, but it wasn't like
I have a fine tag match
bad.
as well. I thought there was a little bit of awkwardness near the end.
I agree.
2 were on the floor and 2 were in the ring, and there was a lengthy pause. Like something got audible.
I just think this makes the Murder Machines look bad because they were in control most of the time, so they shouldn't have lost to roll up when they didn't take damage.
Yes.
But they also look dumb for taking so long to finish the job when it's the Outrunners, and also they didn't finish the job, so they look dumb twice.
My note says, when will pro wrestlers stop being distracted by music? Now the tag title challengers take a loss to a mostly comedic team ahead of their title shot. Not sure that's the smartest move.
No, I think Outrunners get the title shot.
Do they?
Which is laughable. That's what I'm saying. I think at Revolution we see a squash.
Interesting. Yeah, I guess.
Which I guess is fine for Hurts and again.
Because if the
card's stacked enough, I guess we don't.
Like, and you need to keep most of those matches pretty lengthy.
That's fine. Honestly, I can live with that.
Yep.
And then you can build up Murder Machines for Dynasty since that's like next month.
Good point.
So I can live with that, honestly. Then we get a Copeland Mox package. I'm not even gonna bother. There wasn't much new
summary.
Here. The only new thing was Mox said someone's finally playing for keeps, and Claudio's gonna hunt Cope before he hunts them.
Okay. So clearly we're doing he's gonna beat all the gatekeepers to Mox, and I hate it because the Death Riders again.
They look stupid, but
they feel no different than a middling heel group.
They look. I don't like it because they look stupid, but at least he's not beating them all in matches.
I guess.
Because I hate
concertoing all of them.
Yeah, at least they're not taking losses to him, even though Pac already lost to him.
I know.
So, Then we get Ricochet promo package. Nothing new here either.
Recapping the robe theft, basically.
Yeah. Then we hear from Swerve in the ring. He says 3 years ago at Revolution, he came to AEW and he said he'd be world champion. And he said it's fitting it's Black History Month because he's been making Black History. He talked about defending the title at the biggest show at All In last year. He said Nana was right that the world title hasn't been his focus lately. And he said he's still the man around here. He talked about needing gold around his waist, but he had to right some wrongs. He said he has to deal with Ricochet, and Ricochet says they're done, but they're done when he says they're done. Ricochet comes out in the robe and a hat, like looks like such a dork.
Perfectly, yes,
Such
in the best way possible.
He looks so like it's good, but he looks so
I'm telling
dumb.
you, he's a nerd at heart, and this is why it fits so well.
It is. He's a geek, but he's like trying to be a cool guy.
Mm-hmm.
It's perfect. Ricochet told him Swerve that he's done because he won. He said winners don't chase losers. He trashed the San Diego Padres and sport ball and whatnot. He said he's chasing is gold. He's chasing a championship while showing off. He has I think it was the Eagles Super Bowl hat or something. He said the next time Swerve sees him, he'll have gold around his waist. Nana gets on the mic. He says he had an offer saying, and he said the fans deserve a rematch. He said Honan Khan said if Ricochet faces Swerve, the winner will get a title shot. And Ricochet says, okay, I already beat you. I'll do it again, kind of deal. And Rick said we won't do it here. He said they'll do it at Revolution, and he left.
Love that.
Swerve is going to leave too, but Nana stops him. And he said he's glad he's thinking about the world title again.
Yes.
But he said he wanted Swerve to go back to being the most dangerous man in AEW. He said Nana said he's taking a lot of bullets from him. He mentions Hangman, which is valid, Sting, which is valid, Hurt Syndicate, all these different things. He said he needs Swerve to fix his legacy and get his rule back, or else he doesn't know if he can do this anymore. And then Nana left, and that's where we ended.
I like that. It feels like a kind of real relationship because
and I like that we're building it
too much in wrestling. As soon as Nana says like, dude, you gotta get, it's gonna be, they're done and breaking up, right? But no, it's like Swerve's hearing him a little bit.
And he makes a point, like he's been helping Swerve for so long, and this is like the one thing that matters to him. And like
he makes a logical, well laid out argument, and it's
like emotional too.
Yes.
It's serious, and I think it's cool because we don't get a lot of babyface with a manager that works. So I think this is something they need to prioritize. And I like that they're kind of. One, I like that we're adding stakes to a match that's already makes sense.
It is one of our favorite tropes to steal my property and get the match you want.
But that's not even what it is. It's just Ricochet stealing it to kind of like taunt around. And it's like now Swerve and Nana are using the lure of a title shot to get a match. So it's not even like it really is that.
And it's kind of like Nana is doing it. Nana looks smart here because he's doing two things. One, he's going to get his robe back in theory. And two, he's getting Swerve back on the track he wants him on.
It's kind of a win-win.
One fell swoop, right? So creates a rematch I really want.
I like that they coax Ricochet back, and his cocky attitude is going to get the better of him there. So yes, I feel like Ricochet doesn't win twice.
Still really enjoying Ricochet in this role.
There's a chance, but I doubt he does.
Yeah.
Then we get a Hangman interview. He basically just said he's going to find MJF and run him over, and if he doesn't, MJF will wish that he had.
Yep.
I like that line.
MJF has left, and Paige is mad. That's all I had.
Then we get Undisputed Kingdom versus Daniel Garcia and FTR or FT Garcia.
Because I think you added context for me.
Because there's been the whole issue with Undisputed Kingdom and Garcia, where it's like they all seem to want his title and they're all babyfaces, so it's kind of like this friendly rivalry that's getting less friendly. And so I think they already had the match with him in 2.0. There's that three-way trios match on Collision, which got Undisputed Kingdom title shot we saw in that match we liked.
Yes.
And obviously there was the post-match stuff here. So I think it's just that, but no 2.0. I think the only part that's weird is that FTR is here, but also it's better than 2.0, so I'm not going to complain.
I know. You're right. Because I really like FTR, but they're just kind of like...
They kind of get thrown in here. And it's
also... they just got thrown in with Edge, now they're thrown in here.
It's weirder because they were in the storyline with Edge, so would you not... Like, why are they not...
They're out now.
Yeah.
And he's on his own.
With Jay White.
Right.
Why?
Jay White.
But...
Jay White.
Why?
I don't know.
Free Jay White. But not from here. He's staying in the package. Dax with some corner chops on Roddy and a snap suplex for a 1 count. Garcia counters a suplex from Strong, hits a swinging neckbreaker for 2. There's a sequence where like everyone's running around ringside.
Awesome.
Like O'Reilly booted someone, then drop kicked someone against the barricade. Garcia drop kicked him against the barricade. Like, and then he got dropped on the barricade by Roddy. It was just like
rapid
all
succession
of
good
looking
awesome stuff. Yeah.
Undisputed Era hit like it's like a gut check from Roddy, backside from Cole, PK from O'Reilly for 2. FTR and Garcia go for stereo sharpshooters. Small package pins from Undisputed Era all at the same time. 2 count. Everyone gets downed. Then the finish comes. I thought it was cool. FTR in a submission chain with Roddy and O'Reilly. And meanwhile, Garcia goes for a pile driver, but in a cruel twist of fate from how he was winning the C2, Cole pins him with a jackknife. And Undisputed Era get the win.
I thought good trios match.
I really liked it.
Undisputed Kingdom are awesome together.
I love them.
They just work. They're so fluid and so fast and everything.
And I feel like they were awesome in NXT. Obviously, that was their peak, but I don't remember a lot of times of them having matches all together. You know what I mean?
And they're kind of different.
Other than War Games.
Like Kyle's the MMA kind of realistic
technical
style
guy. Roddy's like cardio machine, hard hitter.
And then Cole's like a pro wrestler kind of thing. Do you know what I mean?
Cole's kind of all around. Yeah.
And it all works. I did think they got a little cute with some of the choreographed stuff and the multiple applying submissions things.
I never liked that, but that's like a one thing.
Crowd was into this, and I just really enjoy watching Undisputed Kingdom as a trio, so I hope
I don't like calling them that.
They can get the belts and get that division going and get them into something meaningful because they're really cool together.
Yeah, I really liked it. I'm glad we've been getting consistent trios action lately as it gives hope for the division, and it's just good stuff. These matches are always great with the right talent. Everyone here is good. We're over Garcia, but in the ring, he's still good. I love FTR and Undisputed Era are my favorite faction. So can't go wrong there, and I'm happy we've seen them more frequently, like you said. Like we've seen them twice now, at least, and like they've been doing more stuff. So I like that. I hope we keep them running. Roddy had a singles match the other week too. Cole versus Garcia for the TNT title and Collision could be good. I'd like Cole to take that belt because I don't care about Garcia
and just let him go. I'm done.
Yeah,
He's fine in the ring, but like we've tried.
He feels like a TNA guy.
It's sort of AEW's fault because of the stop-starts. Remember? Because we were like, if he doesn't win it here.
They're definitely partially to blame, but maybe he's just not that interesting.
I think I'm at that point.
Yeah.
I don't think he's interesting.
We're also getting FTR versus Roddy and O'Reilly. So I like that because that's like an NXT dream match.
That could be amazing.
I think we saw Fish and O'Reilly take on Revival in the lead up to the Triple Threat Survivor Series stuff. But I think that's the closest we got. This is my preferred combination of the tag. No offense to Bobby Fish, but I'll take Roddy Strong all day, every day.
Absolutely.
This is stuff that's been building on Collision too, so it's kind of like I do like that it's also not a completely random trios match aside from FTR being there. But like you could also argue we already saw Undisputed beat Garcia in 2.0 and FTR are friends with Garcia, so like you can make an argument there. I guess it's more so Garcia drafting in people. So you can make an argument and still make sense. I'm okay with it. There's worse ways to go about it. Really fun match. I really liked it. Love trios matches. Give me more. Undisputed Era should win the titles when the Death Riders are busy not being stupid.
Like I can keep forgetting that they have those titles. That's crazy.
Even though they defended them 2 weeks ago.
I know. It's crazy.
Claudio backstage. He's walking around. Copeland jumps out at him. They're brawling in the crowd. Yuta joins in, beats up Copeland too. They're going to concerto him, but obviously wrestlers get distracted when music plays because Jay White's here. Off the distraction, Copeland attacks with one of the chairs. Shafir jumps on Copeland, shakes her off. Yuta accidentally decks her with the Buseko knee. I will say, I never get tired of her taking bumps because it always looks good. Blade Runner to Yuta, concerto to Claudio. Mox comes down, pulls Yuta safety, but White's holding a chair, so Mox can't do anything.
Roddy should want to defend his wife now and take the trios titles.
Yeah.
Right?
But then it'd be like, why? I don't know. I guess you could do that. Why is my wife running around with you? And your wife
and then Renee's like, why is my husband a psychopath?
It'd be so weird if we get like mixed real life with it. Yeah, so White's holding them off with the chair. Shafir sets up for concerto. Willow's music hits. She comes down. She deals the blow. Yeah, so this was fine. Further Zara Copeland's on. It's just not one I care about, but like, it's fine. This wasn't bad. I just don't care.
It's a logical step in a story they're telling that I don't care about.
I won't critique it too much because it's not bad. I just don't care. Yuta's on the chopping block on either Collision or Dynamite next week, so that's fine. I'm really still not a fan of White being aligned with Copeland. It feels beneath him. And also weird because the Bang Bang Gang exists. The guns are back. I feel like it also makes the Death Riders look dumb again. Mox keeps running from Copeland, and then also they're dumb for. It's like the horror movie thing. You never split up. You never go alone. Right. Why was Claudio walking by himself?
Right.
Why weren't they hunting Copeland together? Especially if they had enough foresight to have Yuta intercept Copeland in the crowd. Right. Yes. They were smart enough to do that, but not smart enough to like have Moxley out there to intercept them too, or to either intercept Switchblade or Copeland, or have someone with Claudio. Like there's so many better ways to go about that, and like and then maybe White wouldn't be able to hold him off with the chair. I actually did like Willow here because I'm glad she got her moment.
Me too.
She gets payback, and we don't have to watch Shafir wrestle.
My favorite part about that is that Willow gets on TV, and hopefully they do something with her.
And it's like her getting her comeuppance for Shafir, but we don't have to watch her wrestle. Because that was my fear. I was like, are they building to a match? But I think it's now a way for Shafir to get taken out as part of Copeland's crusade without Copeland doing the container. Remember they teased it, and even commentary. Right. I did it kind of like that. Even though Copeland's a babyface, they were kind of treating it as like, when MJF does something disgusting, I was like, they were kind of acting like that. So I did kind of like the consistency there. At least they were kind of like, they weren't gonna defend Copeland for doing that, and so I like that they kind of worked around that.
I think they left some money on the table with Willow in her last.
I think so. They could still go for it though.
The only title she got was by accident, right? I think
that was the strong one. Then she got the TBSL just to drop it to Monet. Right. And I hope this is just Copeland getting the upper hand repeatedly so he can lose at Revolution. We could put this godforsaken storyline behind us against Switchblade in the main event slot like he belongs.
Yes. I think it feels like they just shoehorned White in there because he wasn't doing anything else, and I don't like it either. It doesn't feel organic.
It doesn't feel organic to him.
Yes. Yeah.
Like,
I agree.
I don't I get he feels he's like, and he said it before, he's doing what's necessary to fight the Death Riders, but that was also when he was trying to get a touch. Like, he's not even the one getting in touch. He benefits nothing here.
Other than looking like more of a sidekick than a main player.
Which
I don't like.
The people who criticize him being a trios champion really must be having a field day then, because honestly, I would rather him and the Guns be trios champions than him doing this.
For sure. Especially if we're just going to
I love the Bang
energize
Bang
the trios division. Let's go.
I loved Bang Bang Gang back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Back when they weren't scissoring. God. And I don't like that we keep turning him babyface, even though I do think he's actually a surprisingly good babyface.
He can do anything.
I would rather him be a heel, obviously. Then we get Harley Cameron versus Deonna Purrazzo.
Oh, Deonna Purrazzo, aren't you happy you signed with AEW?
Yeah, I'll point that out in a second. Enziguri and a Shining Wizard from Cameron for 2. Powerbomb for Purrazzo for 2. Locks into armbar. Cameron counters into a pin for 2. And then Cameron wins a rolling cutter. It's like a roll of the dice kind of move.
Yes, it is.
It was fine. Purrazzo's a good hand to help Cameron along, but she's still got a ways to go, in my opinion.
I agree.
And poor Deonna, she was challenging for the world title literally a year ago.
I know.
So.
And I know that they put her in there because she is a technical standout and she can help. Listen, we're on board with Harley Cameron, but she is still not very fluid or crisp in the ring. And I think this went a little longer than it needed to. We all knew what was happening here. And even someone as good as Purrazzo didn't make Cameron look great.
I think maybe you take Cameron off TV for a little bit and have her just train a bit. Or work her on Collision.
And work her into little fun gimmick, character things.
Kind of like R-Truth does.
They're running the risk of overexposing her a little bit right now.
Yeah.
So they need to be careful with that because she is super entertaining and has massive potential, but she's not a professional wrestler yet, in my opinion.
Yeah, for sure.
But I am on board for using her.
Mm-hmm. Then we get Takesha Cassidy hype package. Nothing new here. It's just highlighting both their title runs. Takesha's stuff up until now, and then Cassidy, probably my favorite title run in the company.
So it's a guy that takes a beating like nobody else, and a guy that
dishes a beating like nobody
very
else.
Few others. Yes.
So you can see how this works.
Yeah.
Then the Death Riders get sent off in an ambulance. Jay White still looks stupid. Then we get Takesha versus Orange Cassidy for the title, because why fight for a title shot when you can fight for a shot to defend your title against Kenny Omega?
Right.
Wanted to point that out again.
That's some good writing right there.
Takesha winds up her forearm. Cassie ducks and mocks him with a lazy one, which actually made me laugh because Takesha usually hits it so hard. Takesha decks him with a boot. Slingshot tornado DDT from Cassidy. A big forearm shot from Takesha. Takesha goes for a suplex. Cassidy tries to counter in a Stone Like a Millionaire. Takesha catches him deadlift, blocks Stone Like a Millionaire. Cassidy's feet don't even touch the floor.
It was crazy.
And he switches him into a Blue Thunder Bomb for 2.
Incredible counter sequence.
Blew my mind.
It was counter, and then crazy counter.
Because the strength you need for that, and even that's the crowd were going holy shit. Because I think that's what was getting Takesha over last year. Is I remember in the Osprey match and in the ladder match for Forbidden Door, there's the things he does.
Yes.
Where it was always the Bastard Driver German suplex thing, and the Blue Thunder Bomb when he caught Osprey, I think, and he caught him here. It's just the things he does are so Like it gets the crowd going.
That's why we fell in love with him, right? Because he came out of nowhere and just did stuff that we're like, damn, this guy's amazing.
I'll never forget the first time I saw him.
He was great.
I guess now with our TV box, I could find which Dynamite that was and watch it again.
Probably.
I'll never forget the first time I saw Takeshita. It was great.
He is amazing.
And yeah, this match reminded me why I love him so much. There's a beach break on the announce table. It kind of broke, but not all the way.
Which good.
It kind of made them slide off, which I thought was funny, actually. They both beat the count back in. Cassie knocks Takeshita back out with the world's worst finisher, the Orange Punch, and a Suicide Tornado DDT. Takeshita catches Cassie out of midair with a nasty form like he does. Goes for the Raging Fire. Still not Millionaire connects this time. Bastard Driver from Takeshita. He tries to follow up, but Cassidy counters in like this O'Connor roll driver. Crazy looking for a near
really
fall.
Snappy.
Takeshita counters an Orange Punch and just kills Cassidy with the Raging Fire for the win.
Like, you know what it reminded me of?
Cassidy looked dead.
You know what it reminded me of? You remember when you were little and you had that giant monkey, your uncle?
Yeah, like that.
And you would throw it around in the trampoline.
It honestly looked exactly like that.
Just like that.
The way Cassie landed, he didn't even land fully on his back. We
watched it a couple times. It was just a ragdolling of him. It was amazing. Great.
This was such a fantastic match.
Awesome
I put it on my short list already. Like for TV match, it's one of my front runners, I think.
Yes.
And I was saying to you, it's weird that the tag match from Australia is a TV match.
Yes.
But it is.
This was awesome.
This was awesome. It's a match I had always wanted when Cassie was champion, but I'm glad to get it now, and actually happy to get it now because I feel like if this had happened in Cassie's title run, Takeshita would have lost. So I actually like that here. The result wasn't in doubt, but the action was so great, so good. Cassidy could be the king of killer TV matches because he dishes out some really good offense. Like he gives it as good as he takes it, you know. So he's just really good all around, which is crazy to say from where he started in AEW.
Yes.
And Takeshi's a world-class ass kicker, like we said. The Stun Dog Millionaire counter was insane. Cassidy countering the Bastard Driver was insane. The finishing looked awesome. He looked limp when he got slammed down. It was so great. This reminds me why I love Takeshi. He's genuinely one of my favorites. And him versus Omega is going to be legendary. I pray he retains because I never want it to end. And also, TOE.
I think part of the reason Takeshita looked amazing here is because I think Cassidy has established himself as one of the best like counter wrestlers, right? Because a ton of his offenses, and Takeshita kind of kept up with him in terms of counters, plus like the devastating power.
Yeah.
So it's like I can counter like you can, but guess what? I'm also 240 pounds and just a beast,
and hitting you harder,
right? So I thought he looked amazing here. Of course, Takeshita was never losing, but this was super entertaining and several moments that got vocal reactions from both of us, right? So that's usually a sign of something that's pretty amazing. Like it was the anti-air forearm, the finisher, and there was that crazy counter where we were like, wow, like it was amazing. So yeah, Cassidy takes a beating. Takeshita delivers beatings. You knew it was going to be great. Terrific match to end the show.
I really hope he wins at Revolution.
There were stakes to it, even though you knew that the title wasn't changing hands. It was a meaningful main event with stakes. So I'm a big fan of that.
And Takeshita Omega is going to be legendary. Like we have at least, I would say at max, we have 4 match of the year contenders.
I think there's
at minimum there's
that
2.
show is riddled with 4+ star matches.
Yeah, I think,
and we rate pretty hard. So for me to say that's like Meltzer's gonna have like 5-star matches.
Not to sound over confident or anything, but I think 100% Takeshita Omega, Fletcher Ospreay are gonna be match of the year contenders, and then I think you could probably safely bet on Swerve, Ricochet, and MJF Hangman
Page being 4+.
Yeah,
right. So that's a huge.
They could all make the year end. I mean, Revolution is shaping up to be a great show, and I would love for the main event to wow me.
And that's
but probably not.
Part of what I love about AEW is even if the stories aren't the best, the pay-per-views almost always deliver. Where WWE, I will grant them, have some better stories at times, but the pay-per-views rarely deliver.
But that's okay, because did you know that stories don't have to culminate in a match?
That's right. They do not.
So it's fine.
So overall, a good show. I think slightly behind last week. I really like the main event. I really like the trios match, obviously. But what helped us last week was there was
great
a segment we loved,
Hangman MJF,
right?
Yeah.
So
here I thought the matches were a little better, which is kind of balances
Keith
it.
was also pretty good.
Ospreay Keith was really good. I really like a good trios match. I thought the main event was fantastic.
And I also liked Ricochet's, right? So I don't know. I'll go B+ again, I think, actually. I talked myself into...
I was going to go B, but I think you convinced me.
Raising it up. So I thought just another good show. Hopefully
I think
AEW
next week's our go-home, right?
Kind of hitting a rhythm here. Because there was a lull in this Dynamite for a while for me.
Yeah.
Not this Dynamite, but Dynamite in the
so far
recent
this
past.
year. I feel like it's been mostly good. There was the one that we weren't high on, but I think most of the part this year. It's
very
been
entertaining show. I was very happy with it. All right, so let's take a break from analysis, move into a little bit of trivia. We're gonna pick up where we left off last week. It's what we call off the top of his head. So I know you didn't go and do any research because you don't need to, even though you knew where we were going with this. So we were talking about every Elimination Chamber winner. We went up to 2014 last year. So that means we are starting at 2015. So again, it's basically you just going off your ridiculous memory for wrestling stuff. You're going to tell me who won. I think are all the events going forward just at Elimination Chamber?
They're not. They haven't done one outside of that since 2009, I think.
You do pretty well at telling me who was in the match and anything significant. So we're at 2015. This one's a little bit different.
Yeah, there's the tag one.
It is.
Or the first tag one.
It is.
It was New Day. All three of them actually beat. I think there's Los Matadores.
Oh my goodness, this is a...
the Ascension were there, I think.
So, sorry, you said Los Matadores.
Or the Colognes.
Correct.
2
mentions in one episode for them.
Yeah.
That's a record.
Ascension, I think.
Correct.
Lucha Dragons.
Correct.
Primetime Players.
Correct. One more.
Kid and Cesaro.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
All right.
And the other one was Intercontinental title. Ryback won that one.
He did.
I know Mark Henry was in that one because his pod broke early.
Correct.
Barrett was in that one, I think.
Yes, King Barrett. How dare you?
Ziggler, I think.
Ziggler, correct.
Was
2 more.
R-Truth in there?
R-Truth and
Ooh.
another King. Not at that time.
Oh, I don't know.
I think he was, wasn't he?
Maybe. Sheamus?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, because King Sheamus was in last time.
Yeah, it says the action was messy and confused as
I don't
Botch
hear
led
good things
to
about that one.
pods being opened. It was before your time in wrestling, I guess, eh?
It was.
2017.
Yeah, 16 didn't have any.
Oh, very good. I didn't even notice. 17.
Oh yeah, I guess it was. I think it was just the one, right? It
Yes.
was Cena, or sorry, Bray.
Bray won.
Bray. I
How dare
remember
you.
him winning that. Yeah, he beat. It was Styles, Cena, Corbin, Miz, Ambrose.
Yeah, wow. Is that because you've watched that one? So it's
That was
really
my
easy
first
to...
one. Yeah.
Right.
I remember Ambrose was Intercontinental Champion in that one.
2018.
Bliss won the first Women's Chamber.
Correct.
It was her, Bailey, Sasha, Mickey James.
Yes. Ooh, last 2 are interesting.
Mandy Rose and Sonya.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And then Roman won. It was a 7-man one.
Yeah,
I
also
remember
18,
this
right?
because remember Rollins did that gauntlet match and he had the crazy long performance.
Oh, yes.
So it's Roman, Rollins, Cena, Elias, Balor, Strowman. Is that everyone or did I miss one?
You missed one.
Oh, who else? Would it be Miz?
You said Strowman, Rollins, Balor, Cena, Elias. It was The Miz.
Yeah, okay.
Yep, very good.
Nice.
And this was, it says Strowman tore through everyone, looked unstoppable.
Strowman eliminated everybody and then Roman won.
Right.
And then that was the match where I think Brock opened him hard way in New Orleans.
Redacted.
Yeah.
2019.
Oh, okay. Kofi, or there was the one with Kofi. Dan and Bryan won that.
Okay, yes, sorry.
It was Bryan, Kofi, Orton,
Yep.
Jeff Hardy,
Yep.
AJ Styles, Samoa Joe.
Correct. Very good. I didn't think you'd get Samoa Joe. And then in 2019, the first what?
Women's tag, right?
Correct.
It was Boston Hug, which I feel stupid for saying.
Yep, Boston Hug is right.
It was Fire and Desire, which I also feel stupid for saying, because that's Mandy and Sonya.
Correct.
I think Riot Squad, right?
Correct. Say it correctly.
Riot Tita.
Thank you.
Tamina and Nia Jax.
Correct. And
Naomi and Carmella.
did not remember they were a team.
It's the women's tag division. Don't think about it.
Fair enough. 2020.
Okay, so Miz and Morrison won.
Correct.
It was them, New Day,
Yes.
Heavy Machinery.
Yes.
Lucha House Party.
Yes.
Okay, don't.
2 left.
This era is not a good time. Shoot. Usos.
Yes.
And
they had a stupid tag name, if I remember correctly. They might not have had it at that time.
who would that be?
Non-tag guys, generally, who were in a tag team with a stupid name.
Was
one Canadian.
one Canadian?
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say
one now in TNA.
One. What?
Tana.
I don't know.
They're
2020
if
tag
I'm not
team.
wrong, the tag team name was alliterative, obviously, because they love that.
I feel like I'm gonna be annoyed when I
Canadian,
hear
no
it.
longer a wrestler. You played his theme when you quizzed me on themes,
I played his theme and he's not a wrestler anymore.
and you thought I should have gotten it from like the first two beats, which I probably should
Oh
have.
yeah, the Dirty Dogs.
Correct. The Dirty Dogs. That is
Yeah,
correct.
good one.
2020.
Love the Dirty Dogs. So yeah, the other one. What was it? Don't tell me. Oh yeah, Baszler,
I was gonna
right?
say it's your girl.
Yeah, Baszler, the one where she beats everybody after she was already a vampire.
Right.
I think it was her, Liv Morgan,
It doesn't even
Asuka.
have them, so I'm gonna trust
Really?
you.
I think it was her, Liv Morgan, Asuka, Natalia, Sarah Logan, and somebody else.
Sarah Logan.
I think. Hold on, I will look that up right now because I'm like almost positive. I know I'm
This
missing.
is the only
somebody.
one so far where they haven't put who her opponents
That's
were.
weird because so they're on the poster. Yeah, Sarah Logan. The only one I was missing was Ruby Riott.
Awesome. 2021. There were
two. Okay, so I know Daniel Bryan won one. 'Cause
Correct.
Remember it? I don't know if you remember. It was the one where he won and then he got an immediate match with Roman and he lost.
Okay.
It was him, Corbin.
Yep.
I think Sheamus.
King Corbin. You monster.
Sheamus.
No Sheamus.
No, Jey Uso was in there for
Yes.
sure. Who was on SmackDown at that time? Cesaro.
Yes.
Rollins.
No. Two Canadian lads about to face each
Kevin
other.
Owens, Sami Zayn.
Correct.
Is that it?
Yep.
Okay, nice.
And then the other one?
It was McIntyre
Mhm.
beat, I think it would have been AJ.
Yep.
Orton.
Yes.
They're all former champions. Jeff Hardy.
Correct.
I remember them all being former champions in this one. So I remember Strowman was mad he wasn't in it, and then he had a
Mhm.
steel cage match with Shane at Mania.
You're missing two.
Miz wasn't in it.
Nope.
Lashley wasn't in it.
So you got Styles, Hardy, Orton so far.
Who else was former champions on the roster at that time? I don't even know.
They're both still on rosters today.
Still on roster, and they were former world. Was Kofi in there?
Correct. Last one.
And...
You've forgotten him earlier today too on one of these. Poor guy. The one that I said he was also a king.
Oh, Sheamus?
Yep.
My bad.
2022.
2022 Saudi.
I was just gonna say the picture is of the winner, who is
It depends on which one you're talking
women's,
about. Women's. Oh, shoot.
in her full skin covered outfit because they're in
Bianca
Saudi.
Belair?
Correct.
Yeah, okay, so I know Alexa Bliss was in that because I just saw it. Naomi, was she in there?
Actually, I don't think it's saying. It's giving me some, but not all of
Liv
them.
Morgan?
It doesn't say. Sorry.
That's not. That's just dumb.
I know. So it said entered last, eliminating 2 people, and then it doesn't mention anybody else.
I don't know. Who was champion?
One's a champion now. One just returned.
Rhea Ripley?
Oh, because we don't watch these, right? So that's why it's a blind spot for you. Ripley's correct.
Yeah, this Saudi chamber.
We don't watch the Saudi
this
stuff.
This is a rough one.
And one was just returned.
Alexa?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
And I don't know who else was in there. Doesn't matter.
That's, yeah.
2022 men's.
Lesnar won.
Yes.
He was Theory.
Yep.
Rollins. Lashley. AJ Styles. And Matt Riddle.
correct.
Yeah.
Very good.
Let's go.
2023.
Oh, there are 2 again?
There is 2. So women's, we'll go with.
Oh, shoot. Okay. I'm just going off the Mania matches because I know who won the Rumble in 2023. Don't tell me. Why am I blanking on it? Because 2024 was
That was
Bayley.
recent.
It was Ripley. So it
Yep.
was Ripley and Charlotte. And then what was the other match? So did Asuka win this then?
Asuka won this.
Oh, I
Who was
literally
in
have
it?
no idea.
One just not re-signing.
Sonya Deville.
No.
Becky. No, because
It was just like once her thing is up, they're not re-signing her. Boo-hoo.
Sonya Deville.
Married to someone in the company.
Who's married to people?
Wow.
No, I got it.
Do you?
Nope.
Her husband is a commentator.
Oh yeah, Carmella.
Correct.
Okay, and then
Canadian legend we don't like?
Trish Stratus.
Nope. Legend. Still active.
Who's Canadian
That we
don't
think
like?
can't wrestle that everyone thinks is amazing.
Maxine Dupree.
No. Canadian.
I don't know if she's Canadian.
Natalia.
Oh yeah, right. She can't wrestle. Okay, all right. Raw this year, and it can't be Ripley or Charlotte or Belair. Okay, all right. Who's I don't even know. Yeah, see, I don't.
2 of them
I
are a
can't
current
remember.
tag team now.
No.
They may have even,
Raquel
and
Liv.
one more.
And
Who is still around and is part of a faction but hasn't been seen
Selena Vega.
in quite a while.
Who's in factions?
The whole group moved to SmackDown. I don't know if they've been seen since.
Nikki Cross.
Correct.
That's weird.
The men's one in 2023.
Okay, Theory won that one.
Yep.
He beat Bronson Reed, Montez Ford, Rollins, Gargano, Kevin Owens.
No. All were right except the last one.
Who? Damian Priest.
Yep. And then finally, 2024 women's.
So, Becky Lynch won that one.
Yep.
Who was in it?
I don't know. You tell
Belair
me.
was in it.
Correct.
Raquel was in it.
She
again.
was.
And also Tiffany Stratton was in it because she was really over in that
She
one.
was.
And also Zoe Stark.
No.
And Trish Stratus.
No.
And Shayna Baszler.
Just throwing it at the wall. No.
But also there was
This is the biggest one ever.
Nia Jax.
So think tag team.
Oh wait, no, she was in a match on that card.
Think the main event of Raw this week.
Okay, so then there was also who was champion? Bianca Belair.
No. Other one.
Naomi.
And
Raquel.
other one.
I said that already. Liv Morgan.
Right. Last one, men's last year.
So then Drew McIntyre
Yes.
won it. LA Knight was there.
He was.
Logan Paul was in it.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Owens was in it.
Mm-hmm.
But also
Two others.
There was also other people.
One who's in AEW.
Was who's in AEW now? I know. It was who was in AEW recently?
He's in a tag team.
Who's I don't know.
That we enjoy. They might be champions.
Oh, it was Lashes.
And
someone
gone.
Sheamus.
Someone gone right now, rumored to return in time for Mania or before. Big star I don't really care for.
Big star.
Huge star. First ballot Hall of Famer. Easily. I don't think
Orton?
you said his name. Yes, Orton.
Randall Keith.
Good job. Not as strong as last week. It's funny, the more recent ones you struggled with way
They're
more
not very memorable.
than ones you were barely alive for.
Yeah.
Interesting.
No.
All right, so we'll shift back into talking about the week of wrestling. It's coverage of stuff we saw and want to talk about in a more rapid fashion this week. It's Highspots and Restholds. Okay, so we are. I said okay first. Damn it! I've been doing so well lately. I feel like Raw. I did watch it all this week again. Still, I don't know if that'll maintain forever, but I don't know if you saw any of the opening segment. It was Logan Paul in the ring.
I saw someone post about how the Mania build has just been WWE torturing different fan bases with a potential Logan Paul match.
Pretty much, yes. So CM Punk is the victim this week, right?
I'd be okay with that because it keeps him away from main events or titles.
True. Logan Paul goes for cheap heat, even though I think he's from Cincinnati, so he insults the sports teams, of course. Says that Punk is jealous of him because he's successful outside the ring while Punk keeps failing upward. I think reference to UFC stuff and AEW stuff and whatever. He said that Punk returned and cracked in the spotlight and tearing his triceps. Punk will eliminate Paul as a receipt for Royal Rumble and go on to WrestleMania, face Cody Rhodes, and leave Las Vegas with the title. Paul ends up slapping Punk and then slinking away as Punk makes his final comments. The only thing I took away from here, because this is just I'm going to win at Chamber. No, I'm going to win at Chamber, right?
Yeah, one of those typical things.
Logan Paul is so hateable that when he's doing scripted stuff to generate heat, it doesn't really work. I don't know if that even makes sense. But he's so naturally
unlikable
that when he's trying to do it, it's it disconnects me somehow because he's not being himself, because he's clearly doing scripted stuff when he himself is a heel. So it's weird. I didn't like the dynamic at all, but anyways, it was fine. One of the matches I said there were two that I liked this week was a triple threat. It was Dunn, Penta, and Kaiser. Really good TV triple threat. Kaiser ended up winning, which was nice. His spinning DDT thing looks cool.
Yeah, I actually been using that for my creator wrestler since 2018, so he needs to stop jacking my style.
He looks good. It was one of those he basically stole the win from Penta. There was a spot where Penta jumped off Kaiser's back and hit a destroyer to Dunn. That looked cool.
And why would Pete Dunne not get pinned, right?
Dunn did get to hit his bitter end on someone. I don't even remember who it was. But really entertaining 10-minute triple threat. Crowd was really into it. It's Penta's first loss.
Not.
It's a loss. He didn't get pinned, but it's a loss.
Like, it's not him losing.
So it feels like we have to go back to a Penta Kaiser singles match, right?
Yeah, I feel like that's where we're building. And then Dunn can be forgotten again.
Penta needs to move on, though, yes?
That's what I'm saying. They'll probably get Phoenix to do something.
Because he's been and it's been good matches, but it's just been him with these two guys, it feels like, for months now.
I don't think it's been that bad yet.
But it's been a lot.
It has. I just want Pete Dunne to do something.
Me too. New Day beat LWO in 6 minutes. And commentary, I think it was based off of Xavier Woods had to wear goggles when he wrestled in high school. So now commentary are all over him being a nerd. And I think mostly McAfee. Like, nerd. I'm like, awesome. So anyways, New Day wins. I think it was a stomp to... I think Kofi stomps while he's held over Woods' knee, I think is their finisher.
I saw it was like a double foot stomp back.
Dragon Lee comes down to make the save. Nope, he gets taken out as well because he's always booked so strongly, that guy.
The Speed Champion.
He was so good in Ring of Honor when I was doing Ring of Honor stuff.
He was in AEW slightly, I think. Remember, he was in the Trios title tournament way back when.
So this is just like after an incredible segment where the New Day turned on Big E, they've just been really spinning their wheels, right?
Yeah, it's like Triple H didn't have a plan.
And it's like, they're a tag team. So even when we have a compelling story for a tag team, we don't have anywhere to go after that. It's kind of sad.
You should have just put the belt on them because, I mean, I know the War Raiders are champions and like I do want them to do well, but what have they done since then? Since winning the belts? Did you remember they had the belts? I almost didn't.
No, they haven't done a lot, which is too bad because they were doing it looks like they were heating them up and being like they're one injury away from being retired and blah blah blah. And then it's like, and Triple H again is supposed to be the tag team guy.
I don't know.
And the non-redacted guy. But
yeah.
I don't know. Judgment Day, there's still tension there. Again, talk of a new member. Finn's saying no.
I mean, and Aleister Black's imminent, so.
Right. And Liv is saying that they didn't take out Cargill, I guess is the takeaway there. Gunther is one of the bright spots on this show. He rips Jey Uso some more. And then saying he asked for a match and it's Tozawa comes out. And Gunther, again, truth teller Gunther.
I saw this. I actually liked this promo.
He's basically like, he and Tozawa both uprooted their lives to come to WWE, but it's kind of culminated in Tozawa wasting his time being a goof who dances for the fans, which is fair.
Yeah, I like that.
And then it was 3 minutes. Tozawa got a flurry near the beginning, and then Gunther just killed him with like a chop, a boot, a power bomb, and then picked him up and did like the Brody King, like, I'm gonna put you in a sleeper and pull you off the ground so his feet are like dangling. It looked awesome. And then he applies another sleeper on Tozawa after the match. Otis comes out to try and make the save, but he gets a sleeper slapped on too. And then Jey Uso comes out and Gunther leaves because Jey Uso's scarier than Otis.
He is. He's as scary as Adam Copeland.
I guess, right? I know you'll be surprised by this. The Women's Intercontinental Champion won a match. It's a crazy idea to book them to win matches. Your champions. It's nuts.
That's not how things work.
She beat Dakota Kai in 9 minutes with the Nightwing. The match was fine. I can't decide if Dakota Kai is good, and shouldn't I know by now? How is that possible?
She was.
But she's hit and miss, I find.
That's not good.
That's weird. I don't know what it is. I know, me too. And the chiropractor looks cool.
I have learned that Lyra Valkyria can win matches as champion, but only against Dakota Kai, because that's the only person I've seen her beat.
And then after the match, they're showing respect and shaking hands or whatever.
Ivy Nile murder her.
Destroys Kai, throws her into the barricade, and then takes out Lyra with like a spinning side slam, I think it was. Holds up the title, and honestly, it's the best fire I've seen out of Nile possibly ever. She actually looked dangerous here, so she has beef with Kai because Kai beat her for the title shot here. And then obviously she wants
the
because
title, yeah.
Gable was like, when I come back, you need to all have gold. So, and I think later she says, she gets a little chance to talk again and says she's going to beat Lyra and the Creeds are going to beat the War Raiders, which they might, because what are the as you just said,
Yeah.
What are the War Raiders doing?
I think the titles would still be better spent on the New Day, but honestly, if you want to push the Creeds, that there's worse things to do.
So I'm starting to see some progress and potential in Nile because I've been like, she's just the same as when she started. And now I think she's showing some growth a little bit. Sammy has a sit down with Jackie Redmond. It's much longer than I'm going to summarize, but basically Kevin Owens made it personal by because there was a SmackDown, right, where he went to Zayn's family home, I think. So Zayn went to Kevin's house, but nobody was home. Something about Owens' mom, whatever, and then he felt bad for going to Owens' house with bad intentions. He doesn't recognize himself or Owens at this point, and it's going to be a bad time for both of them, but a worse one for Owens. I did want to talk about something I thought might happen, but I'm going to save that for my predictions for Elimination Chamber as well. Breaker and Dom Mysterio had a match, only went 3 minutes because Balor and Carlito have to pull Braun out of the ring after a Breakensteiner, I heard someone call it. So they were trying to save Dom, I guess. And near the beginning, Braun absolutely did his rope running and just flattened Dom with a clothesline.
That's crazy.
So they attack Braun after the match, but Braun can still fight off Carlito and Dom. He stares down Balor, who leaves. So is this them turning Braun face and facing Balor for IC title at Mania?
That'd be fine.
Yes. So
I would like Balor to win, but
no, I don't think so. And I think Braun's been sort of tweenering up until this point. So
that was the news, right? That
we'll see where it goes.
That's what they're doing with him.
Cody's in the ring trying to sound relatable, dropping the names of his entire family, and just for good measure, throwing in Brody Lee's son as well. Rollins interrupts.
What about Liberty Rhodes?
Rollins interrupts in such a ridiculous outfit that it makes me concerned he's going back to his heel persona that I don't like at all. He says after he wins Chamber...
He kind of hasn't changed, though.
He's been better, for sure.
He's the same character, though.
No. He's not doing the stupid laugh. He's not doing the voice.
He's still the visionary thing.
As someone who's watching it every week, I don't get those vibes out of him very often.
I'm not saying he's not the exact same, but he's not like he hasn't changed characters.
He's been like kind of facey. He's like buddies with Sami Zayn.
Obviously, he's the babyface, but like it's a babyface version of the same character.
It's much
because he's still doing the theme and the extravagant outfits. Like he's still been wearing crazy stuff.
Not as crazy as this week. This week was nuts. Anyways, he'd love to face Cody at Mania after he wins the Chamber. A year ago, they went into the battle of their lives against the Bloodlines, Roman Reigns and The Rock. And the fact that Cody didn't slap The Rock in the face last week was like a slap to Seth's face.
It's kind of like Owens.
Cody says The Rock asked Cody for his soul because Seth's soul may already be compromised. Then he recounts a bunch of Rollins' heel actions, but does admit that Rollins helped Cody become the champion last year and that Rollins was the main event and MVP of WrestleMania 40. Rollins wants to face the Cody who came back here to beat Rollins, who beat Rollins with one arm, and the Cody who Rollins helped win at WrestleMania 40 last year. He's not coming for Cody's soul, but he is coming for Cody's title. I thought Rollins made some good points about like, hey, you can't just forget your history with the recent history with The Rock, right? Mm-hmm. Like, dummy. But the catalyst for this whole thing was that terrible Rock promo and angle last week. So this just that self-indulgent Rock angle that I really don't care. And Cody's always been a secret heel to me. So his like this tease of, oh, he might turn heel. Like, no, he is one. He always is one. He is Charlotte Flair. He can't not be one. So you're not teasing me with this. This is not enticing to me. Jay super kicks Grayson Waller after he's disrespected backstage. So I guess we're getting that match ahead of some Mania probably. And then the only other thing is the main event, which I was personally surprised by the title change. I didn't see it coming.
It's not. I don't think it's entirely surprising.
But I thought so. To say what it was, in case you don't know, it was Liv and Raquel beat Naomi and Belair. Really good tag team main event match. But I thought we were setting up like Cargill comes back and gets involved, costs Naomi and Belair the title, and reveals which one of them actually took her out because it's one of them. Or both of them. So the finish it was, first of all, really fast pace, lots of near falls. The crowd was like super into it, which helps. Dom obviously gets involved a couple times here. Finish saw Naomi hit the rear view. Dom gets on the apron. Naomi takes him out, kicks him off. Raquel grabs Naomi, sends her face first into the ring post. The ref doesn't see it. Liv covers Naomi for the win after about 12 minutes. Great energy. Wasn't expecting a win for the heels. Again, I thought the Cargill storyline was going to play out differently than
I feel like she could probably cost someone at the Chamber.
Yeah.
Because Belair and Naomi are both in that match.
You can still have her come out and cost them and then reveal ahead of Mania.
I guess this just frees them of the belts that they...
I guess that actually makes a lot of sense that you put it that way.
Like, it kind of works still.
It does. 2 really good matches on Raw and some good words from Gunther, but not much else, to be honest. NXT really quickly, Vaquer defeated Petrovic in the 11-minute opener. I thought this was probably the best Petrovic has looked, and it was 11 minutes. She showed a few new moves that I haven't seen her do, including a submission where her opponent's seated and she's behind them, and they like hook your arms with their legs and pull them back, and it looks painful. Anyways.
Yeah, I think so.
So obviously Vaquer ends up winning with her finisher we don't love. Julia comes out, and I thought they're racing to this, but I guess we find out why. We didn't talk about it in news, but we're getting Vaquer and Julia title for title already, which I was like, why are we getting here already? But
title for title is rare, because I think the only time they did that was with Keith Lee and
right.
Cole, when it's not a unification match, obviously.
But apparently Julia needs some time off to recover from bumps and bruises and whatever. So I guess that kind of telegraphs, unless they're going to be like, we swerved you, dirt sheet followers again. Like, hey, good for you. Like, I love when, awesome. So yeah, we're getting that match.
Vince Russo to pop a rating,
which
like
should be awesome. What was the recent one where they were like, dirt sheets lied to you?
McIntyre, I think.
No, there was something more recent than that. Oh, Alexa Bliss.
Oh yeah,
she's fighting about her contract. And even commentary when she showed up made comments. Don't believe everything you see.
Right. Yeah,
like, you got us. Good job. Moose and Lexis King had a very good 10-minute match. The crowd was super hot again, or maybe sweetened. I don't know. Really fast pace. King looked way better than usual. Crowd was really into Moose, which we talked about, I think places a target on him when his contract is up.
I mean, he's a little older, but they'll probably take anybody.
Yes. Moose kicked out of the coronation, hit his spear shortly after that. Wins. Femi.
I thought his entrance looked awesome. I caught that when you were watching it.
Femi comes out. We're getting Moose Femi at Roadblock.
Title for title,
that's
I think.
Cool. Yeah. Spears. There's a big vignette with Spears basically profiling each member of his group.
Does his group have a name yet?
It does not. But he ends by saying he'll take the North American title next week. I kind of liked it because
I can't wait to see what did they call the group.
It's a simple attempt to add some depth to the characters. It was nothing earth-shattering, but at least some. Because what have they talked about? What's the newest guy? Nico? Nothing about him really, right? So I feel like Spears could win too for some reason. I don't even know why.
Because Tony sucks.
He's back though this week, and we'll get there. Kalani and Jada Parker have issues on a bus. They get in each other's face and argue, and then later Parker has a little segment where she sounds great, cutting a promo on Kalani, and ends with her Jada Parker don't play. She's just, I find her charisma is awesome. She's great. And
someone
she's
not that experienced.
And believable, you believe that this is her. You know what I mean? It's great. Ariana Grace has a babyface in-ring promo. Sorry, not Ariana Grace. It was Jordan Grace. Oof, that's tough because there's 2 of them.
I heard she had a wardrobe malfunction.
Who?
Jordan Grace.
Did she? I didn't notice.
They might have edited it out by the time you watched it.
Interesting you say that. When I started watching it, it was 2 hours long. When I went back to finish it today, it was 77 minutes long. So that's even more than just commercials being out. So what's getting cut? Anyways, I don't care to look that much. But Roxanne interrupts her basically because Jordan Grace is doing the whole everyone can feel things shifting because I'm here. There's a crack in the foundation when I show up, which was fine. And then Roxanne gets in there, is talking about sending Grace back to TNA. She's going to win Elimination Chamber and the main roster title, and maybe come back down and win the NXT title and be Roxanne 2 belts or whatever. And then Grace says the line, I think it was Tyson, right? Everybody has a plan until, and then punches Perez in the face. I kind of liked Perez here. One thing I thought was interesting is the visual. It's kind of backwards, right? Because your heel is 5 foot nothing and 100 pounds and talking tough. And then you've got a legit bodybuilding champion as the baby face. So interesting dynamic there. Backstage, Trick wants no part of Javon Evans, trying to compare their situations. Trick is you're fighting about a smile and I'm fighting about the NXT championship, which I thought was fair. Ricky Saints walks in, wants a handshake with Trick. Trick ignores him and just says, I've heard about you, and walks away. And then Saints I get that he's angry, but does he have to be angry all the time? Kind of enjoying.
He's serious.
Kind of enjoying Trick with a bit of edge to him, just because it's different, and he actually is believable as being pissed off. So it's something new for him. I don't mind it. The Hardys, Of course, have to beat No Quarter Catch Crew. 10 minutes. Twist of Fate from Matt. Swanton from Jeff. Man.
You know, when he lands on them too hard, they call it a crouton bomb.
That's funny. I'm sure that WWE fans love this, but what I saw...
Hardy's already had a shirt back on shops. They have TNA merch. They have WWE merch. There's new ROH figures coming out from AEW. So they have AEW ROH merch, and it's crazy. Like, they're all over the place right now.
Jeff is out of breath early and often.
What?
Matt can barely move.
Oh, wow.
They do a lot of basic stuff, and then they can't... Jeff does hit a whisper in the wind, but when they do what's the one in the corner where
the poetry motion?
So he doesn't even have the ability to flip and make that a kick anymore. It's just like a splash.
Yeah.
Heights and Bourne are really explosive, and the contrast with the aging Hardys is pretty stark in this one, I thought, but solid match, nothing more. Fraxium were sitting on chairs watching it from the ramp. So Santino comes out, and Fraxium will face Hardys at Roadblock, obviously. And
I don't think that one's title for title, though.
It almost feels like the Hardys are face, and they're like maybe leaning Fraxium,
or at least like edgier, because like I guess Fraser's the hot.
And Hardys are gonna get cheered, unfortunately. Anyways, the family meets up in the restaurant. Starks is really apologetic because he hasn't done that well while Tony's been gone, but Tony's super understanding.
Starks or Stacks?
Sorry, Stacks. Not Starks. I wrote Starks. Stacks. He's like, oh, sorry, I didn't win last week. And Tony's like, no, it's fine. Not everything goes. So it's like you've been teasing this kind of like Tony's gone, you can't find him, and you guys suck when he's gone. And he's just like, nope, that's cool. So I don't know if we're circling back around to it or if it's just gone. It kind of felt like Tony had to do stuff or whatever, was injured, and they just abandoned it now that he's back. I don't know. Chelsea Green, not Rachel Green, almost said it, but didn't. They show up backstage because Niven is her now security person, I guess.
They've been a tag team, so it's a weird change. Oh, yeah, right, because she's one of the mid-card champions that doesn't win.
Right.
Because she also lost.
Yeah, that's right.
I think she lost to Neil.
She's coming for a massage, and Piper's there to kick all the rest of the NXT women out of the locker room. Ruka and Zarya don't leave, and then an interaction ensues, and a tag match is made. So Niven makes the match. Green seems like she regrets it and says it's stupid. The only thing funny of this is Niven called Zarya, I can't remember exactly what it was, but something about like referring to her being from Mad Max, which is pretty on point. So I laughed at that. And it feels to me it's just like another momentum building tag match for Ruka and Zarya, probably, because Green and Niven don't need a win, right?
Because
Green doesn't win.
Why would your mid card champion need a win?
Right. Well, I mean, Valkyria got one now, so there's precedent at least. Lola Vice beat Ariana Grace, not Jordan Grace, in 3 minutes. It was kind of funny. Like, Grace is entertaining.
I feel like Vice hasn't been around either.
She hasn't. I thought the same thing. So Ariana Grace at the beginning is like ducking Vice's punches and hitting her own, and just like how proud she is of herself because Lola Vice is the MMA one, right? So Ariana Grace is pretty entertaining. I'm not going to lie.
She's the Chelsea Green type.
Yes. But she gets kicked and hits with a back fist, so Vice wins really fast.
I miss Eddie Kingston.
And then No Quarter Catch Crew guys, Dempsey, Bourne, and Heights are all laid out backstage, and we kind of see the new Shield leaving. And I just say, like, at some point,
not New Shield.
At some point, these guys have to wrestle.
They're New Retribution.
We'll give them a name then, because I don't know.
Retribution 2. Combine two of our favorite
Electric
things.
Boogaloo.
Retribution 2.0.
Yeah, there you go.
We like 2.0.
We did love it. Eddie Thorpe's walking around Cincinnati saying that this is the land his people used to be on until they were sort of ignored and shipped out. I forget how he phrased it. And then he said, like, and he's not wrong. He's like, and that's how I've been treated. I did what I said I was going to do, and I was going to beat Trick in a match, and I'm doing nothing, and he's still doing something, right? Like, I'm fighting for opportunities that this guy gets handed. I tried it the right way. It didn't work.
Kind of reminds me of the MJF argument a little bit.
So I kind of like this. He's not wrong, right? He's like, Trick just keeps getting all this time and attention, and I just beat him in a match where I said I was going to beat him, right? So he's basically like, anytime they want the match sort of thing, and name the time and place. But it's now kind of awkward because Trick's leaning heel a little bit. So I don't know. Is this promo baby facing Thorpe because he's right? What's happening here?
The lines are blurred.
Then we get the main event. It is a 13-minute match with Ricky Saints and Javon Evans defeating Ethan Page. and Wes Lee.
I saw Ricky's entrance. It was pretty good.
And the theme, he
The
still
theme's
finds the thing
very-
to do the do.
It's very
It
very
is.
derivative of his AEW
It
theme.
is. Even I noticed
Even the
that.
intro, which is fine. I
No,
really like his AEW
If it ain't broke,
theme.
don't fix it.
Yeah, I really like his AEW theme, and I think
I
just
agree.
the overall feel of it. It's kind of got that New Orleans party vibe to it.
Mhm.
Because I think he's from there. Just overall, it fits him, so I'm okay with it being derivative. It's just it's very
Did
clear.
you see the finish?
I saw the Rochambeau.
Yeah, it was Wesley cardiac kick. Not caught perfectly, but I think it was one of those, like, it doesn't have
realistic
to be perfect.
struggle.
Right.
Deal, yeah.
And then Rochambeaued him for the win.
I really like a good Rochambeau, and I think Starks has a really good spear. It's not like
He
Braun's.
does.
It's definitely different. It feels like more like Starks kind of like precision.
And I feel like when he
grabbing
hits
him.
it, he stays horizontal for like a split second.
Yeah,
Which just looks kind of
I always feel like Starks
Like
is
he's
kind of
stuck
more
in
like
there.
he's like always making an effort to more grab him too, and Breaker's just like checking into him.
Yes. So I will say Saint's first stint in the match was underwhelming. He hit like a couple basic things, basically tagged right out, and then they did a couple double team moves, but he got the hot tag later and looked way better, kind of on fire for that one. And it ended up being a pretty good tag match just to get Ricky Starks a win and a little bit of a showcase in the main event. So that was that. All right, so the next thing we're going to move into, it shouldn't take long because there's not many matches, is we're going to make our predictions for tomorrow, or when you see this later tonight, Elimination Chamber. Run this down for me. Let's make predictions. I actually thought and wrote them down. That's crazy.
Blaka. All right. The match that is here because Toronto. The matches that aren't the chamber matches could be summed up by Toronto.
I know.
Even though one is a feud, it still feels like
The
Toronto.
other one is Toronto, and it influences my pick for
Tiffy
sure.
and Trishy versus Nia Jackson, Candice LeRae.
If-
Good for Candice getting on a PLE without Rumble, but like it's not. Trish is winning.
If there was ever a match to give the hometown crowd something to cheer about, this is it. It's Tiffany and Trish. Tiffany's the hottest one of all of them in
She's the
terms
champion.
of right, and Trish is hometown hero. So
Yeah.
Suddenly Tiffany and Trish are besties somehow, but that is an easy pick to
It
make.
is.
And we'll be debuting a new sort of gimmick next
Sure.
week. But if we were debuting it now, this would be the one I think that I would be taking.
Zayn and Owens in an unsanctioned match. I'm taking Owens because I feel like he's the one who needs more momentum. He's lost to Cody twice. He's kind of like, I don't know. He's in a downswing. I think he needs it more. And Zayn's the kind of guy that can afford a loss like that. So I'm going to go with him.
I'm going on a limb, and this is the one I said I would talk about here. I'm going to say Zayn wins. Orton interferes with that to get Zayn the win, and it's Orton Owens
Okay, yeah.
for
I
WrestleMania.
could see that.
Right?
I've heard he's coming back.
I'm taking that. I don't want that. I don't want Orton Owens. I would have rather they waited for this for Mania, but I get that they want this for Toronto, and it should be incredible.
Should be sick.
Like this match. Actually, this card I'm fine with too. Chamber matches can be cool.
Yeah.
The women's tag will be absolutely I'll make nachos or whatever, probably.
Yeah.
And the unsanctioned should be crazy. So
Yeah, for sure.
this card looks good too, but yes, I am
think
taking
so.
Zayn. At least we got a difference now.
Yeah. The women's chamber match, it's Liv Morgan, it's Belair, it's Naomi, it's Bailey.
This was the toughest one for me.
I thought it was too, and then I really thought about it, and I think I've got a good.
I kind of had the same thing. It's like an epiphany.
So Ripley's a babyface. Logically, she needs a heel opponent, and it's been said they called up Perez with a plan.
Oh my god!
So I'm gambling on Perez.
Exactly. I thought I was so smart for this. So
I also thought I was smart for that. You disappoint me.
I'll go out on a bigger limb and say she beats Ripley at Mania.
I could see it.
Because it was in our news. They have a plan for her. That's why it took so long.
I think this is the plan.
They've already got her longest Rumble person, right? I think she wins.
And what is
why
Ripley's,
not?
What
Who
does
else
Ripley
needs
stand
this?
to gain?
We're not
from
running
another title.
I
run
see the
too?
most common pick is Liv Morgan. We're not running that back, man.
Well, here's the plan. I think the plan was also for them to do Ripley Morgan rematch at Mania, or like that was when Ripley was going to win the title, and they jumped the gun,
Right?
For her to win on the Netflix premiere. And you could argue that was because they had a plan for Perez.
The problem is, again, same thing I said. Like, imagine the visual of Perez and Ripley, and Perez is the heel,
I think it'd be interesting,
right? And so I I had the exact same experience. I was like, I don't know who it's going to be. And it wasn't even, sometimes I'm influenced by stuff I read. This was just like me going, oh, because nobody's jumping out at me.
Okay, but now I'm second guessing myself because aren't they setting up Bailey and Perez?
They are. It's a red herring.
Bailey could work her way into the match though.
Don't trust the dirt sheets, buddy.
Could do a triple threat.
Yeah, you could.
I actually like that.
I'm taking Perez as well. Damn it.
Perez could pin Bailey and like Ripley gets out. Okay, you know.
I thought that was one that was going to be unique.
Eat it.
All right.
I'll probably take a gamble here anyways.
Okay, good.
It's the men's chamber match. It's McIntyre, Punk, Paul, Rollins, Priest, Cena. One of those men is not like the other. It's Priest. Winner faces Cody.
Sorry, did you just say you're taking Priest?
No.
That's
like the last.
Write that down.
No, that's the last person I would take. I'm on no, I love the dude, but because I think his match was the one with Strowman and Fatu. I really wish it was Fatu.
I know. And he just destroys people.
I was certain on Cena, but like the reported change in plans and like I could see McIntyre taking Rock up on his offers to spite Cody and the Bloodline people.
Picture it. You have Fatu in the chamber. He doesn't start out. He's in one of the cells, and it triggers him from being in prison, and he just comes out and just
I could see
goes
him like
bananas on
doing.
Wouldn't that be amazing?
I could see him doing a pod spot too, jumping off the pod.
But anyways, we're not getting that.
I'm gonna take a gamble just for the fun of it, and purely because I will always root for him, and I'm gonna take McIntyre.
And I'm going safe.
I don't care about Cena, but
I'm taking Cena.
I went safe in the Rumble. It didn't work out for me, so I'll probably do this dumb move and not take him here.
They have to get this year of Cena going, right? Like he's been on.
They do.
He's been on TV once, twice.
I want to change it, but I'm gonna stick with my boy just because I would.
You got to go out on a limb.
I love Drew, and I will advocate for his moment.
So those are our picks. We always forget to revisit them on the next episode, but maybe
we're not very good at that.
We're not very good at things. Maybe we do this. We do it the way we want, you know. But you did say you're bringing back a segment we've missed out on a little bit lately. You do have a couple updates from the world of wrestling figures, so we'll do that now. We call it Figuring It Out with Jack. Haven't done it in a while, and I'm going to follow along on my screen so I can see what you're talking
forums.
Let's go.
So I'm thinking I'll restructure it as like, we'll go with the ones I actually kind of care about.
That's
for better,
fair.
for worse.
Yeah, I like it.
There's like the knuckle crunchers I don't really care about. Most of the basics I don't care about. So
let's do it.
I'm looking at the elites right now. I think it's just past the knuckle crunchers if you're following.
Yep.
The Jacob Fatu from Elite 118. It's basically a Bloodline sex. It's the new Bloodline plus a Collector Cena and Nia Jax, which I'll get to. But Fatu I think looks fantastic. Maybe a little slim, but I think the head scan's pretty sweet. It's typical for him because he's so emotive and everything.
Yeah.
But like I think it looks really good. I think the cut on the tank top is pretty perfect. And I want to say it's Velcro-less. I think it is, right? If you look at the back. No, it's Velcro. Never mind. Anyways.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
I was like, why am I struggling to find this?
Then next is Tamatanga.
Hey, it looks pretty good. He's got your shirt on that I love.
Yeah. Then
I see that
Tamatanga.
too.
That one's pretty good. I feel like his head looks a little big though.
And who cares? It's Tamatanga.
Looks good. Camacho, aka Tongaloa, he looks pretty nuts. I think he's the next one. Is it him or it is him? Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got like his eyes popping out of his damn head. Like he looks kind of crazy looking, but
Oh, he does. He could not
that's
open his eyes wider.
yeah, I know.
I like that they all come with the
Then Solo, which honestly might be the best looking Solo they've made because they've had the issues with giving him a chunky enough torso, and I feel like this is a nice chunky suit Solo, and I feel like the head scan's really spot on for him. I really like that. The cloth red jacket, yeah.
And the Ulafala.
Does he have the Ulafala? He does, yeah.
Is that the right? Did I say it right?
Yeah.
Damn, I never get that right.
It's good. It's his wannabe tribal chief look that I don't really care about. But I do think it's
the
accurate.
shot of him holding the jacket over his shoulder looks cool.
It actually does. It's pretty accurate. Then Nia Jax, and because you can't have one, you gotta have two. There's a chase in the red. It's Queen Nia. It is. It looks accurate. Like for the figure, I think it looks good.
Yeah.
I just don't.
And
care.
one hair up, one hair down.
Yeah, one for the crown, one not.
Yeah. Oh.
All right. And then moving on, the new Ultimates. I guess we can just keep going side since these are the next ones. I think it's Jey Uso from Backlash. It looks fine. Honestly, I think the Elite and the blue pants is better. This one I don't really care for. I have the all white Ultimate and the Bloodline Ultimate, so I don't care for this Yeet one.
Yeah.
Personally.
It's fine.
Drew McIntyre I think looks really good. He's more over. That's from
3
Mania.
heads.
Yeah. The smiling open head scan is pretty crazy
Oh,
looking.
because it's the ultimate one. Got it.
Yeah. And but that one looks pretty nice. It's all the bells and whistles. He's pretty beefed up.
Mm-hmm.
I will try to get that because I love me some McIntyre.
The face looks good. The little expression with the
Yeah.
little squinty there looks good.
Yeah, that one's good. And then the last ultimate from these 3 is Jimmy in the red, which I actually do really like. It's from the Rumble, I think, with the no yeet shirt. The no
Oh,
yeet
it's no
slam,
yeet. I'm like, it's not Jimmy, it's Jay, because you got a yeet shirt.
yeah, but I do like the all red. I think this one looks a lot cleaner than the J, personally,
Mhm.
just in terms of attire choice. I like that one a lot better. Let's see what's next. Okay, so I'm going to skip past the Superstars figures because I don't really care. One thing that's funny is there is a Zeus. That's just kind of funny.
That's amazing.
But scroll down, we have the Monday Night Wars
Hey, and
Austin
there's a Muda.
and Muda.
Cool.
I know the one designer, Bill McKinney, he loves Great Muda, so I think that's fun.
Muda
for
is
him.
cool, man.
Muda is cool. Recently they came out with the NWO Muda, which I actually thought was kind of
They
cool.
have him spitting mist?
Yeah.
That's dope.
They have that with the Ultimate. I should show you that later. But speaking of Ultimates, the next one is Monday Night Wars Wave Austin. And he's got the cloth jorts, which I think is actually kind of cool. So you could have like a promo gear Austin and a...
with beer cans?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the pointer hand, since you can't do the
Middle finger.
flip off. I've seen people do a really cool
In
edit
handcuffs?
though, where it's like, yeah, you have like you see how he's got the mic holding hands?
Yeah.
You could like
Yeah.
kind of go exacto with the fingers and they curl it up.
Yep.
So I think people have gone around it, which I think is kind of creative. Then next we have a Elite 3-pack with Awesome Truth because, that's what we want. But
see that.
new belts, so that's cool. The suit of Triple H actually looks really good.
I was going to say, who's the third person?
It's Truth, Miz, and Triple H. If you look at the close-up of all their heads, Miz looks atrocious.
Okay, I'm coming.
Miz's head looks bad, dude. The Triple H is a reuse.
It looks like Fandango.
a little bit. It looks so bad.
Sorry, JDC?
The Truth head is good, but I feel like his hair sits weird. Though.
It is. It's not.
It's like flopping around all over the place, so
Yeah.
that one's weird. But I feel like a lot of people are gonna pick up that for the belts.
And
I would
Trips
almost
kind of
do
looks
it,
like
but
Adam Pierce.
I feel like they might have reused the body.
Interesting.
They could have honestly done Adam Pierce because he was in the segment too, but I think they didn't because he was just a Build-A-Figure.
Right.
Remember you got the red. I got the red Sami Zayn that
Yeah.
line. Then there's Ruthless Aggression Ultimate Cena. I think it's from his first Mania match. That's the one.
The
that
hat
rolls
looks
out.
dumb.
Yeah, it's also tricky because with the jerseys for this era, they can't put
I just saw what's next.
They can't put any
I've just
logos
seen
on
it.
there, right? What is next? Oh yeah, the greatest hits. From the Vault Hornswoggle. I think that head scan's kind of perfect
It
though.
does
no?
look like him. 100%.
That is it's DX Hornswoggle. And the mini ladder I think is awesome. But like that's a perfect Hornswoggle, and I think it's an improvement because a lot of time with the greatest hits, these re-release waves now,
Looks pretty good.
they're slightly changing them. So this is a different head scan, but I think it looks fantastic. Then also in this wave, I think what's the next one? Boogeyman, yeah.
Did you see? I sent you the clip of Fatu interacting with Boogeyman.
I didn't watch that yet. No.
Oh, it just makes you love Fatu more because he is
I need
like
to watch that.
he basically is taking a picture of him, and then he's like so excited. He's like
That's
like,
crazy.
it
I mean,
looks
I
like
do love
he's-
Boogeyman.
Like,
I think he's funny.
Like Fatu's a little kid meeting,
but it's funny because it's Boogeyman.
and it's Fatu who's like this monster, but he's like so excited. It was
But
good.
I find this interesting because I remember I think for one Christmas you got me the original copy of this Boogeyman.
Right.
And so we had different head scan. They're reusing the head scan from. Remember, I think I also got the Chase
Oh, and the
Boogeyman.
worms in the mouth.
Yeah,
too.
so that's
Nice.
a new head scan from Elite 99
That's
Boogeyman,
cool.
which I remember I got the Chase with the red
He
face
looked
paint.
crazy, man.
Boogeyman, I just think it's funny because like, what even is Boogeyman?
It's just what everybody's afraid of. That's sort of
But like,
undefined.
I guess that's what. But I just don't understand
And
what
they
he
defined
is.
it that way, which is he looks awesome.
It's so
And
funny.
it's got
Oh,
a great
man.
first name.
Yeah. Duh.
Yes, exactly.
Anyways, then we also have from this wave the prototype Cena from the Toys R Us exclusive. I actually did have the original copy of this one as well. But this time you get the bleach blonde
You do. I
head
just
as
got
well, which
there
is
as
kind
you
of cool.
said that.
The
And a
both
referee.
spinner belts. So that's cool. And then yeah, John Cone is also here. Apparently he's a figure collector, so that's cool. This is
Father
a
of a
re-release.
tag team champion.
Yeah. Who also has a Build-A-Figure. It's a re-release of his Build-A-Figure with the white striped
Weird.
one, and then
What a
Chase
weird
variant
choice.
is the SmackDown shirt, which I think is kind of cool. People like the old SmackDown ref gear, so I guess that's kind of neat. What do we got next? What do we got? Is it something that we actually care about? No, it's basics, 3-pack. The only interesting basic is they got Final Boss Rock, so that's kind of neat. Moving down to the new battle packs, I do kind of find interesting. If you get there, so we got Roman and LA Knight from Saudi, which I find interesting because LA Knight's one of the couple that still get ankle joints on his basics for some reason. I guess based on the mold they use.
Yeah.
Hulk Hogan is the other one I know. and he gets the complete old articulation. It's weird. But anyways, that looks fine.
There they are.
It's
Okay.
got the
I'm
flat
with you.
finish on the Undisputed belt, so no black gems on the W and no shine to it really. So it's
Mhm.
pretty basic stuff, unintended. Then we also have Truth and Dom. Dom's got like his skirt looking thing, so that's kind of current. And then Truth looks much better with this hair tied up.
Agreed.
It's a lot cleaner. Then we got Retro New Day with the trombone and the penny belt.
Francesca too.
Yeah, these
Probably.
look very similar to basics I have of them. Not the exact same, but they could be releases just with the new articulation. But because the head scans are 100% old. Like that Woods head scan's not great. Looks
It's
pretty.
not. I just
looks
got
pretty
to a
bland,
close-up of
right?
it.
Like
Yes.
it looks very. It's definitely because they have that technology now, right? And so it's definitely before that era.
And Kofi's chest is all wrong too.
Yeah. Then we got Ultimate Greatest Hits, which again are the re-releases. We have Roman. So I find this one interesting because it's a combination of multiple heads. So it's obviously Roman with the red gauntlet, the black boots, the Roman we've seen a million times, million matches, million figures of this. But then so he's got the Elite 110 straight scan. He's got the yelling head from the UA head from the
and the super straight teeth. Remember when at first it was so jarring,
in
and now it's
2020,
like you don't even notice.
He's got the yelling head from his first Ultimate, and then he's got the new like fade scans, which are the teeth ones you're talking about, from his newest SummerSlam release. So those two heads are really recent. The other two are less recent. The yelling head's the oldest one. With the smiling head, I find it interesting because they have the new technology with the JD McDonough where you can just port the hair off.
Yeah.
They use the same scan with the different hair, so I don't know why they use the hair gimmick. What I find bothersome about this figure is on the back they mentioned WrestleMania 39, supposedly saying that this figure's from WrestleMania 39. Not true, because that was the first time he wore the red boots, and he's not wearing red boots here.
He is not.
So therefore, this is wrong, and I'm taking umbrage with that fact. And then we have a release of the Razor Ramon from 16, which had a black version and a purple version. So this is the recolor. And
Love the body hair.
Green. The body hair is killer. I think the head scans are honestly pretty good.
They look
too.
pretty good, yeah.
I think the far right one is my favorite, which is kind of like the snarling one. But the green's kind of an interesting color. It's not a color I remember him wearing a lot though. So I think it's kind of interesting, but I do think it looks good. And R.I.P. Scott Hall. And I think it's just more. Is it more superstars? Is there anything else?
I don't see anything good.
There is the collector's edition Cena at the end, which is like Cena and like it's that Mafia entrance he did at the.
I was just gonna say, why is he
dressed like Undertaker?
Yeah,
it's the one where he had like the Tommy guns and the.
Oh yeah,
I think was that the one where Punk was in his entrance or something? Was it Punk? I think I don't know. Anyways, that I think it covers it.
Awesome.
That'll be great for.
That is better when I'm looking at it with you for sure.
Yeah, and it's like I feel like it's more convenient than just showing you like flashing the phone. It's like so.
Look at us making improvements.
Yeah, and then I don't think I miss anything. So I think that's pretty much
I think that's good. All right, well that's gonna wrap up 241 for us. And
much more palatable than last week.
For sure. We're going to definitely check out Elimination Chamber. Hopefully we love it and want to talk about it on Sunday. But if not, it'll be
the worst stuff too.
It'll be rolled in. That's a new running joke again. It'll be rolled in with 242 next week. Thanks for taking some time out of your week to join us and listen to us talk about wrestling in our tiny basement studio. We really do appreciate it. We hope you have a great week. We'll see you back down here next Saturday. And until then, everybody, take care.